The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Next guest will give you the laughs, just don't ask him to lend you money. It's Jack Benny coming up next.
The Jack Benny Program. Starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Bill Harris, Rochester, Larry Stevens, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack sick in bed, suffering from the shock of last week's harrowing event.
How do you feel, boss?
No.
It's a whole week now, and the police still haven't found the man who robbed you.
Quiet. Quiet, Polly. This is all Steve Bradley's fault, a fine press agent. Rochester, hand me my sympathy-soothing syrup. Please.
Your sympathy-soothing, sir?
Yes, it's in that bottle over there. The label reads Yatapamus. Sympathy spells backwards as Yatapamus.
I know. Doggone, boss, I think you're taking too much of those spell-backward medicines.
Why?
You're the only man I know who sleeps with his feet on the pillow.
Well, I just thought the change would do me good. Turn on the radio, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, there's a happy man in Hollywood tonight. Oh, yes, Jack Benny, son of radio and movies, still has most of the $646,000. True, he may have been robbed of the trifling sum of $10,000. But despite his tightwad reputation, Jack Benny has taken his loss like a genuine sport. So there's a happy man in Hollywood tonight.
Turn it off, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
If I told Steve Bradley once, I told him 1,000 times I only dreamt I won that money. He made a big publicity stunt out of it. And what happens? I get robbed. That's what happens. I get robbed.
There's a happy man in Hollywood tonight. Happy man.
Polly, quiet. Gee, Rochester, it's awful to be sick in bed. It's so boring.
I'm sorry, boss. I've done the best I can to keep you entertained.
I know. Here, Rochester, blow me some more bubbles. Go ahead. Huh?
It's me, man. It's Steve Bradley.
Oh, now look, Steve.
Yes, it's the greatest thing that ever happened. Your picture's in every paper in the country. Well, the whole nation's talking about you. What other guy would have the good luck to be robbed of $10,000?
Good luck.
Why, I've given you a whole new personality. I've made you the new Jack Benny. You're no longer Benny the tightwad, Benny the skinflint, Benny the miser. Benny the miser, Benny the miser.
Quiet, Polly. Rochester, give him a cracker or something.
I'll give him a caramel. That'll keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying, Steve?
I was telling you with all the publicity you're getting out of it, this robbery was the best thing that ever happened to you.
It is?
Why, certainly. You're getting more publicity out of this than if you were signed up to fight Joe Louis.
Joe Louis? I wouldn't fight Joe Louis.
You better grab him now while he's out of condition.
Oh, stop, will you?
Well, get him on line now, Benny. stop by to tell you that a reporter from the United Press will be dropping in on you for an interview.
A newspaper man?
Yes, and remember, Benny, not a word about that dream. Everybody thinks you won that $646,000. You got to keep 'em believing it now, no matter what happens. So long.
Well, maybe he's right. But that other silly thing about wanting me to fight Joe Louis. I'm not in condition either. Gee, if I... Polly, please be quiet. Please. Daddy's sick. Rochester, get me my... Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Gee, you look bad.
Thanks. Fine thing to say to a poor, sick man.
Oh, Jack, don't be so irritable.
Well, my goodness, Mary, you'd be irritable, too, if you were robbed of $10,000.
But it's only money. You don't have to be so upset about it.
I'm not upset.
Then why don't you take that wreath off your door?
I didn't put it there.
Anyway, Jack, you're still ahead $636,000. Why worry about $10,000?
I'm not worrying. Rochester, go in the kitchen and get some plates so we can serve the fruit Miss Livingston brought.
But, Jack, I didn't bring any fruit.
You knew I was sick. Well, Rochester, bring some fruit anyway. What have we got?
Grapes.
Grapes? Good, I'll have 6. How many will you have, Mary?
I'll have...
They're the large ones. Go ahead, Rochester. Bring him in.
Okay, boss, I better bring a couple of spares.
Oh, Jack, I got a letter from Mama this morning.
You did? Well, what does the baby schnook of Plainfield have to say? Go ahead, Mary. Read it.
My darling daughter, Mary, the whole family listened to Gabriel Heater's program the other night and was so thrilled to hear about Jack winning all that money. Please send us all the details, as we didn't hear the finish of the program. The owner came back and made us get out of his car.
Serves him right for sitting in Mildred's Piers. Hey, oh, boy, Mildred's Piers. Oh, boy, that's a good one. Gee, Mildred's Piers. I must save that for the program.
I'll have Rochester put it on ice.
Go ahead with the letter.
Your sister Babe has given up her job in the tuna cannery and gone back to her first love, the stage.
Oh, fine.
She's working at the local theater, and when she heard about Jack winning all that money, she got so excited she fell off the runway.
I knew she could do it.
Your Uncle Lou would like to know if Jack would invest some of his winnings in his new invention.
Invention?
Your Uncle Lou has developed an explosive more powerful than the atomic bomb and has had one successful experiment. However, he needs money for a new factory, as the old one hasn't come down yet.
What a guy.
We'll close now with love from your mother, Leilani Livingston. We pay track odds.
We paid track odds?
Mama used her business stationery.
Oh, what a corny letter. Say, Mary, turn on the radio and see what's on, will you?
Okay.
Mildred Spears. Oh, boy, that was a humdinger, wasn't it?
I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I had spring fever, but I know it isn't spring. I am starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when it isn't even spring? I keep wishing I were somewhere else, walking down a strange new street, hearing things that I have never heard, and a girl I've yet spiders spinning daydreams. I'm as giddy as a baby on a swing. I haven't seen a crocus or a rosebud or a robin on the wing, but I feel so gay in a melancholy way that it might as well be spring. It might as well be spring.
Mildred Spears. Oh, boy, that was a dilly, was it?
Say, Jack, that sounded like Larry Stevens.
Yeah, probably one of his records.
How you feeling now, boss?
Oh, just about the same.
You want me to get some more ice?
No, I've got plenty.
You want me to call the drugstore for some more medicine?
No, I got plenty.
You want me to call the Red Cross for some more blood?
No, I don't want to wear out my welcome. I guess I'll be all right if I rest.
Oh, by the way, boss, a telegram just came for you.
Who's it from? Read it, Mary.
Okay. It's from Fred Allen.
Oh. What does Smellbound have to say?
It says, Dear Jack, just learned that you were robbed of $10,000. If you find the dirty crook that did it, please let me know, as I would like to have him as a guest star on my program. We'll do the broadcast from San Quentin if necessary.
What a smart aleck. I can't wait till I do my next broadcast so I can beat him to that Mildred Spears joke. Mildred Spears, that's a goodie. Yes, sir. Rochester, answer the door.
Answer the door, answer the door.
I heard the man! Doggone, that parrot sure gets on my nerves shooting off his mouth. I wonder if a Mickey Finn works on birds. Oh, well. Well, hello, Mr. Harris, Mr. Wilson.
Hello, Rochester.
Hello, Roch. How's the high command?
He's feeling a little better, I think. Here's his room, gentlemen. Now, don't excite him.
Well, hello, boys.
Hello, Mary.
Hiya, Livy. Hello, Jackson. Feel any better since you lost that $10,000? Hey, Jackson, you better watch that cough. You might get pneumonia. Pneumonia? Yeah, I had to leave school once on account of pneumonia. I couldn't spell it. Oh, Harris, you ought to be twins. You bring such joy to these shut-ins. You... Phil, I'm sick enough. Mary, pull the cover up a little, will you? I feel like I'm getting another chill.
Say, Jackson, if you're having chills, I know the very thing for you.
What?
A rum flip.
No, Phil, I don't think I want anything.
Well, they're really great. You see, the egg in it gives you strength, and the sugar gives you energy.
What does the rum do?
It gives you ideas about what to do with the strength and energy.
There's someone at the door, Rochester. I'll get it, I'll get it.
Why don't you sit down, fellas?
Say, Jack, why don't you give him your Mildred's Pierce joke?
I will not. I'm saving that baby for myself. Leave me.
Oh, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
There's a detective here, and he wants to talk to you alone.
A detective?
Yes, sir. Here he is.
Oh.
Come on, kids, we'll go out in the kitchen and make some coffee.
Okay.
Did you want to see me, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Benny, I'm Inspector Flanagan. You was robbed Saturday night, so they put me on the case to ask you some questions.
Oh. Well, come right over here, Inspector, and sit down by the bed.
Thanks.
It must be tough for you to follow anybody. Now, what do you want to know, Inspector?
Wait till I get out my pencil. There. Now, where was you on the night of June the 23rd?
June the 23rd? What's that got to do with it?
I don't know. We always ask that question.
Oh.
Now, this mug what stuck you up, what did it look like?
Well, he had one cauliflower ear, his nose was broken, a big scar across the right side of his face, and a large mole on his chin.
Any identifying marks? Look, Mr. Benny, one more thing. That you...
Oh, excuse me. Hello?
Hello, is this Benny?
Yes.
Now listen, Benny, if anybody's there, don't let on who you're talking to.
What?
This is the guy that stuck you up.
Holy cow!
And I'm calling to warn you, don't say a word, see?
But look,
Hey, have any cop has been nosing around asking you questions?
Well, yes. In fact, there's one here now.
What?
I said there's one here now.
Well, you better not tell him what I look like or anything else. You do, I'll fill you so full of lead you'll need 35 pallbearers.
35? My goodness, I only have a few friends.
So remember, keep your mouth shut, Benny, or your life ain't worth a plug dime.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's a deal. It's nice of you to call. I will. Goodbye.
What was that?
A friend of mine called to cheer me up.
I thought I heard you say there's one here now.
One here now?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, that was my Chinese laundry man. One here now. You know, he's got that little place on 3rd.
I thought Greenberg was on 3rd.
No, look, this is Main and 3rd.
Oh. Well, I got all the dope I need. I'll be getting along now, Mr. Benny.
You know, that description I gave you of the bandit wasn't exactly accurate.
No?
No, I remember now. He didn't have a mole on his chin or a broken nose or a scar. In fact, this mug, he looked a lot like Roddy McDowell.
Oh, well, I gotta go, but you can rest assured, Mr. Bennington, I'll be on the case day and night.
Well, don't work too hard, Inspector. Goodbye. Oh, what an awful mess I'm in now. All because I dreamt I won $646,000. Oh, well, I gotta go through with it. Mary, will you take my temperature? The thermometer's on the table.
All right, Jack. Now open your mouth.
Ah.
Wider.
Ah.
No use, Jack. It won't go in your mouth. I'll have to take the thermometer off the calendar.
Never mind. Just hand me an aspirin, will you?
Well, I think I'd better say goodbye now, Jack. I've got to get home for dinner.
Why don't you stay here, Mary? We're just going to have a little broth and some rice.
We're running out of rice, boss.
We are? Well, Rochester, tomorrow you better go down to the market and get another 100 pounds.
Okay, I'll take the rickshaw.
Well, I'm going, Jack. I hope you feel better.
Thanks. So long, Mary.
Chop, chop.
Before I go down and fix dinner, is there anything you want me to do up here?
No. Say, Rochester, how come we're so low on... Oh, Rochester, that's probably the newspaper man, Steve Bradley, sending over for an interview. Have him come right up.
Yes, sir. I'm coming!
Good evening. Is Mr. Benny in?
Yes, sir, but he's sick in bed.
Oh, that's too bad. You think I could talk to him for a few minutes?
Yes, sir, he's expecting you. You're the newspaper man, aren't you?
Newspaper man? No, my name is Rainey. Lloyd Rainey. I'm from the Income Tax Department.
Well, Mr. Benny's pretty sick. I don't think he
I'll
can...
only take a minute of his time.
Yes, sir, right this way. Here's his room. This is Mr. Rainey, boss, from the...
Well, have the gentleman come in.
But, boss, he's from...
I know. I've been waiting for him. Come right in, Mr. Rainey.
But, boss...
Rochester. Go out and close the door.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you came over, Mr. Rainey. Sit down.
I'm sorry to see you're indisposed, Mr. Benny.
Yes, the experience was such a shock to my nerves, but not that I mind losing the measly $10,000. You see, I'm still ahead $636,000.
Yes, so I understand. Tell me, Mr. Benny, how did you ever come to bet $85,000 on that horse?
Well, you know the old saying, Mr. Rainey. When you've got a hunch, bet a bunch. Hunch, bunch. Yes, sir. That was almost as good as Mildred Spears, sir. Oh, yes, I sure knocked him over for a lot of dough.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Benny, when you won that $600,000, you certainly stirred up a lot of interest down at the office.
Well, it is a lot of money, but you can tell your readers I'm still the same old Jack Benny.
My reader?
Yes, you're from the United Press, aren't you?
No, I'm from the income tax department. Mr. Benny, are you all right?
Yes. Just help me get back in bed.
There you are.
Thanks.
Now to get back to business, Mr. Benny. You understand, of course, that this visit is purely unofficial. We just like to keep abreast of things. And that $600,000 you won is taxable income.
It is? I mean, is it?
Yes, you see, a lot of people are under the false impression that they don't have to declare money won at gambling.
Yeah, but this is all a mistake, Mr. Rainey. You see, I didn't really win any money. You know, it was all a publicity stunt, you know, so your trip here really wasn't necessary. You see?
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Benny.
Wait a minute, yeah.
Everybody had it on the radio, including Gabriel Heater, Erskine Johnson, Bill Stern.
Yeah, but what do they know? I'm the fellow who won the money. I mean, I'm the fellow who dreamt he won. I dreamt it, you know. It was only a dream, you know.
Now, Mr. Benny. Mr. Benny, you can argue all you want.
I know.
But when March 15th comes, you'll have to pay the tax on $646,000.
But I got it.
Oh, Mr. Benny, it's only money. It isn't as though we were taking your life's blood.
Mr. Rainey, let me be the best judge of that. And besides, I haven't...
Well, have it your own way.
But look...
But down at our office, we use the old saying, Mr. Benny, when you win on a hunch, you gotta pay a bunch.
But Mr. Rainey! Oh, my goodness. All this trouble just because I dreamt I won $646,000. This is all Steve Bradley's fault. Why did Rochester let that man in the house?
Mildred Spears.
Shut up, Polly. It ain't funny now.
Every day along about evening, when the sunlight's beginning to fail, I ride through the slumbering shadows along the Navajo Trail. When it's night and crickets are calling and coyotes are making a wail, I dream by a smoldering fire along the Navajo Trail. I love to lie and listen to the music when the wind is strumming a sagebrush guitar. When over yonder hill the moon is climbing, you'll always find me wishing on a star. Well, what do you know? It's morning already. There's the dawning so soon. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail.
Hello?
Hello, boss. This is Rochester.
Rochester, where are you?
Next door in Mr. Ronald Coleman's house.
What?
Don't open your mouth. That man in there with you is from the income tax department.
Well, thanks for calling, Rochester, but you're too late.
Well, I tried to warn you, boss.
Warn me? Why did you let him in the house?
I don't argue with men that size.
Rochester, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. When somebody comes to the house, find out who it is. Get their names, get their cards. Don't let them in till you know who they are. Will you?
Jack Benny Show is rebroadcast especially for you soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen of the United Nations.
Lights Out is up next on nightly old-time radio shows.
Lights out, everybody. It is later than you think. This is Arch Obler bringing you another in our series of stories of the unusual. And once again we caution you, these lights out stories are definitely not for the timid soul. So we tell you calmly and very sincerely, if you frighten easily, turn off your radio now.
You, out there, listen to me. I'm dead. Now, don't twist your face in that foolish smirk. I tell you I'm dead. You say the dead don't talk. Don't be a fool. They're all around you, but you won't listen to them. You hear me now. Listen. You a match? Yes, a match. Take it out. Strike it. Look at the flame. Beautiful flame, isn't it? Beautiful flame. Throw it away. Throw it away. I say horrible flame. It cost me my life. Please listen to me, you out there. I want to tell you just what happened. My name was Arnie Douglas, and I was a very happy man. A very happy man.
Arnie?
Yes, Sam?
You know what I've been thinking about, sitting here in front of the fire?
No, Samuel, my friend. I haven't the slightest idea what you were thinking about, blonde or redhead.
No, Arnie, I'm serious. I was thinking that you ought to be just about the happiest man in the world.
And what made you come to that brilliant deduction?
Well, if happiness is based on satisfactions, you have the satisfaction of knowing you have a fine career, all the money you can use. Now, Barbara.
Barbara.
Yeah. You know, in spite of the fact that she's my sister, I think she's the loveliest girl in town.
In the world, Sam. In the world.
Listen to the fire. It agrees with you.
Or disagrees.
Say, talking of fire, reminds me.
What?
When are you going to grow up?
Uh-oh, I think I know what's coming.
I should think you would. I don't mind you risking your own neck, but think of Barbara. You look pretty funny coming to your own wedding dressed in a plaster cast.
Yeah, what does Emily Post say about that? White tie with plaster cast or black tie?
Now, let's get serious, Arnie. Chasing fire engines is a kid's trick.
Well, fires have always fascinated me, Sam, always.
So what? Fire fascinates most of us. But that doesn't mean we have to jeopardize our lives chasing them all the time.
Yes, I suppose it does look foolish, fire chasing, but... Look here, Sam. Don't flames get you?
What do you mean?
Look in the fireplace. Look at those flames curling around the log.
Well?
Orange and red, like small living things reaching out for life.
Ah.
Now look, Sam, that new flame that sprung up right there in the center of the log. Higher, higher. It sings with the joy of living. It's alive, Sam. It's alive.
Stop it.
What's the matter, Sam? Did I scare you?
Oh, but you were talking like a fool.
Was I? When the world's full of fools. Other men have said that same thing that I said.
What are you raving about now?
I said the flame's alive. Others have said that. Whole generations of men. They worship the flame as a living thing, a godlike thing. Can you say that we're any wiser than they?
Arnie Douglas, are you out of your mind?
I'm talking facts. That flame there. How can you or I or anyone else say that it isn't alive? How do we know it isn't alive?
Well, because it's a flame.
A flame. Do you know the encyclopedia definition of life? It says life is a living thing moving about. It says it not only moves by itself, but it feeds by itself on other matter.
So what?
There, that flame. Isn't it moving about by itself? Isn't it feeding on that log?
Yes, but
Well, then I've proved my point. That flame there fills every requirement of a living thing. Listen, when a man chokes to death, why does he die?
Because his air supply is cut off.
Exactly. That's just how you kill a flame, by stopping its air supply. Sam, I tell you, I've sat here for hours watching these flames in that fireplace. The more I think about it, the more I'm positive that a flame is a living, breathing entity.
Yeah. The more I sit here, the more I realize that you're talking out of your head. Now, come on, get your hat, and let's go out and buy a drink.
No, wait, Sam. There's something I want to show you. A book I just got. Huh?
Well, while you're getting it, do you mind if I throw another piece of wood on this living entity of yours? It's getting chilly in here.
No, don't touch that fire. I want it just the way it is.
Arnie, there is something wrong with you.
No, I'm all right, Sam. Just because a man's curious about the ways of life, must you think there's something wrong with him? Look, Sam, look at this book.
Well, what is it?
It tells of a race of fire worshippers who lived in medieval times. People who believed that every flame held its own godlike being to be worshipped by us mortals.
I still want that drink.
In here is a prayer with which these fire worshippers called up the spirit of the flame. It's a beautiful prayer, Sam. Let me read it to you.
Wait a minute, Arnie. They did what with that prayer?
Conjured up the spirit of the flame so that they could see it and kneel before it and worship it.
You mean to say they'd recite some hocus pocus and have something in the flame pop out at them?
Yes. And if I knew just how to read this prayer to that fire in the fireplace, just what inflections to use, I would be able to see the spirit of the flame, Sam. If such a thing exists.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you had. If such a thing exists, by George, I'd have put in a hurry call for a straitjacket. Come on, Arnie. This is getting a little too morbid for me. Let's get out of here and go places.
No, thanks, Sam. I'm not going out tonight.
Okay. Go right ahead. Sit here and stew in your metaphysical juice. But don't let anyone who isn't a friend of yours hear all that nonsense about flame spirits and fire worshippers. By golly, you'll find yourself in front of a lunacy commission. Well, here's my hat. What's my hurry? Good night. Arnie.
Yeah?
All this nonsense you were talking, you were just kidding me along, weren't you? After all, you're going to marry my sister, and well, you know how it is. You didn't mean it, did you, Arnie?
No, Sam, of course not.
Good fella. Joke's a joke, huh? Well, good night, old boy. No, don't bother getting up. I know my way to the door by this time. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Sam.
Good night.
Thick-headed fool. Beautiful flame. Book. I wonder where... Oh, yes. And I humbly give unto thee this sacrifice. Sacrifice. Barbara's ring. I had it here. Oh, yeah. And I humbly give unto thee this sacrifice, great Almost, and I beseech thee to reveal to me the life within life, the life within fire, as I repeat the sacred word. Atar. What? Ator. You. Who are you? Who are you?
The flame.
Yes?
Arnie, what's the matter? It's Barbara.
Barbara.
Honey, what is it? Aren't you going to let me in? Darling, are you ill?
You can't come in, Barbara. You've got to go away, please.
You are ill. Stand aside, Arnie.
No,
Douglas.
please,
I'm
don't.
coming in and you can't stop
No, Barbara,
me.
go away. Please go away. You can't be here.
Arnie, what's the matter with you? What's going on here?
Nothing. I'll explain it to you sometime. Just go. Go, dearest, please.
Absolutely not. There's something wrong here, and I'm not leaving until you tell me what it is. Arnie, your hands.
They're all right. Really, they are.
Bandages.
Burns. Just a few burns. They're all right.
Oh, it's so cold in this room, and you're ill. I'll light the fire.
No, not fire. As you love me, no fire.
Oh, Arnie, darling, what's happened to
Barbara,
you?
listen to me. If you love me, you'll go away. You'll get out of here and you'll never come back.
What?
You've got to listen to me. This that has happened to me is mine. My horror. Can't hurt you. I won't let it.
Too late, love. Too late.
Oh. Arnie, what are you looking at?
She cannot see me. Only you can see me.
Arnie, the air is getting so warm in
Barbara,
here.
go away quickly.
Too late. I touch her and she never looks upon you again.
Arnie, that horrible odor of burning. Oh, I'm frightened, Arnie.
You thing. What are you going to do?
Her eyes. I'm jealous of her eyes. I shall have them.
Arnie, who are you talking to?
Huh?
Who are you talking to?
I'll bargain with you, love. Do as I ask, and I will let her live.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. Anything.
Get her out of here, or she dies.
Barbara, come on.
Oh, no, Arnie, I won't go. Darling, you're
Please
hurting
go.
my arm. Oh,
No,
you're
don't
hurting
struggle.
my
You
arm.
must go.
I
You
must go.
He said anything. Anything.
All right, Jim. It's your move.
Okay, Mac. I'll move when I'm good and ready.
Well, what's the use of sitting there staring at the checkers? You've lost anyway.
Oh, yeah? Well, now, what do you say to this, you old foghorn?
Oh, so you think you're smart, you? Well, now, watch this.
Well, for the love of...
So you thought you'd beat me, eh? Well, you'll have to be in the department a longer time to do that, me bucko.
How long have you been a fireman, Grogan?
Going on 20 years.
Well, if this is all there is to it, it's sure a monotonous job. Why, we haven't had a run out of this station in 2 weeks.
Now, don't talk like that, Jim. It's bad luck.
Oh, what's bad luck about it? You think I joined the department to sit on my tail playing checkers and talking ball scores? I want to do things. What?
Shut up.
It's a go.
It's a school. John, the house is on fire. John, get up.
Get out of this room. You've got to.
No, stay back in the line.
When my wife, my kids are in that hotel, let me through. Let me.
The whole block's aflame.
Can't give me water. All right,
Anything. He said anything.
Paper, read all about it. City swept by mysterious fires. 100 killed. Paper, evening paper. Hundreds die in fires. Read all about it. Paper, evening.
But But, Commissioner, we must do something.
But, Mr. Mayor, what can I do? I've got every piece of fire apparatus within 100 miles of the city.
Well,
50 alarms in the last hour. I tell you there's more than one maniac setting those fires. It's a dozen. It's 100 of them.
Yes, it's a plot. That's what it is. A plot, a revolutionary plot. I'll call up the governor. We'll get the militia out. It's a plot.
Oh, Sam, hurry.
Yes.
Sam, I'm so worried.
Don't get upset, sis. We'll be there soon.
What could have happened to him? Not a word since yesterday.
You know, I can't believe it yet. You're saying he threw you out of the house.
Oh, well, he didn't exactly throw me out, but he... Oh, Sam, what can be the matter?
You should have told me sooner.
Oh, I didn't want to. I didn't know what to think. Oh, Sam, what could possibly be wrong?
Don't ask me, Barb. There goes another fire engine.
Those terrible fires. It's as if the whole world were coming to an end.
It's going to be all right. I heard over the radio. The governor's sending the militia into town. That'll stop those firebugs.
Schools and hospitals and hotels.
Well, this is it.
Yes.
Barb, wait for me.
Oh, all right, but hurry, Sam.
After what you told me, I think I'd better stay right with you.
Oh, my poor Arnie.
Careful, dear. These steps.
Oh, Sam, he's not home. There's not a light in the house.
Well, let's try anyway. Huh. Where's that blasted bell?
Oh, it was out of order when I was here. I had to knock.
Oh.
Wait, Sam.
What?
The door.
By George, it's open. Something is wrong in here.
Oh, Sam, I'm frightened.
Arnie? Arnie? Are you in there, Arnie?
Oh, he is, Sam. I know he is.
Why doesn't he answer? Arnie! It's Sam and Barbara. Arnie, are you home?
He's sick, Sam. Let's go in quickly.
No. You wait out here.
No, I'm going with you.
All right. Oh, it's so dark. I haven't even got a match.
Oh, the light switch. I think it was somewhere along this wall.
I got it. Wow. Is this room a mess?
Oh, Sam, he must be sick. Arnie's always so neat. Quickly, the bedroom.
All right. Don't get so excited.
But he might be dying.
Don't talk nonsense. I'll bet he isn't even here. There. What'd I tell you? He isn't even home.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Walls.
Why, they're charred.
Sam, there's been a fire in here.
Oh, no. Well, that's impossible.
Oh, Arnie, where are you? What's happened to you?
This is unbelievable. These walls so terribly burned. Come on, Bob.
Where?
We'll go to the police.
Sam.
What?
The burnt walls. Maybe the same people who are setting fires all over the city did something to Arnie.
Hey, maybe you're right. That's it. They started to set fire to this place, and Arnie caught them at it. And he tried to stop them, and...
No, I didn't want to. I think I didn't.
Arnie.
Arnie, where did you come from?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to. She made me. She did it.
Arnie, what's happened?
Good heavens, man. Where have you been? Your face, your clothes. Here, sit down.
No, there's no time. She's following me, I promise.
Arnie, what are you talking about? What's the matter with you?
No, Sam, let me. Arnie, lift your face. What is it? Who's following you?
Those children this morning screaming, trapped up there. No one to help them.
What?
That man, his wife, his children. He went back into that burning hell. He went back. He didn't have a chance. He went back. God in heaven, what have I done? What have I done?
Barbara, the fires. Arnie's been watching them. They've gone to his mind.
Oh, my poor darling.
I'll get a doctor. He needs...
She did it. She, not I. They can't blame me. You, the dead kid. She killed you.
Arnie, in heaven's name, control yourself.
I did it. You hear me, Barbara?
What, Arnie?
I did it. All those fires, those people dying. I did
Arnie,
it.
in heaven's name, what are you saying?
I did it, Sam. I did it. If not for me, she wouldn't have had life. She wouldn't have had power. It was through me. Through me, the fires got life. Me.
He's lost his mind.
Arnie.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I did it. Look, these papers, plans, every building I burned. She made me do it every step of the way.
Oh, no.
Arnie.
You believe.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Both of you, listen to me. There isn't much time. She'll be here. She'll kill...
Arnie.
Arnie, what is it?
I'll do it. I'll do anything you say. I'll do it. Let them alone. Let them alone.
Arnie, come back here.
Sam, where's he going? Where's he running?
I don't
to?
know. It's as if someone was chasing him.
Sam, look. On the floor.
What?
Right where Arnie was standing.
Footprints. Burned right into the wood. Oh, Father in heaven. What is this? I tell you, Mr. Mayor, I'm telling the truth. Every word I've told you is the truth.
My dear young man, the story's preposterous. How about it, Commissioner? Could any one man be responsible for all these fires?
Absolutely not. A physical impossibility.
But I tell you, he's confessed. Arnie's my friend. He wouldn't lie to me. I tell you, the man was driven to it by some horrible thing.
What are you talking about?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. But believe this much. As sure as we're all in this room, Arnie Douglas had something to do with those terrible fires.
But you heard what the Commissioner said.
I don't care what the Commissioner said. While you're just sitting here, more fires are being started. More lives are in danger. In the name of humanity, please listen to me and send out a general alarm to have the police pick up Arnie Douglas. I'll give you his description. I'll tell you just what he was wearing. You've got to catch him.
Man is suspected of being the pyromaniac responsible for the fire terror. Repeat, general alarm. Be on the lookout for a man by the name of Arnie Douglas, height 5 feet 10, weight 175 pounds, light hair, blue eyes. When last seen was wearing gray suit, white shirt, no tie, no hat. This man suspected of being the pyromaniac.
Please, Barbara. That won't help any.
Arnie, what will they do to him? Oh, tell me, Sam.
Nobody's blaming Arnie. It was some kind of madness, that's all.
Those horrible burning footprints.
No. Don't talk about them. We never saw them. We just imagined it, that's all.
Where have they got Arnie? What are they doing to him?
He's in the mayor's office, the fire chief, and about a dozen others. They're questioning him. They don't believe that he himself could have set all those fires.
I want to see him. I want to talk to him. Oh, it's a horrible dream that never happened.
Wait.
The mayor wants to see you in his office right away.
All right. Come on, dear.
All right.
Well, come right in, folks.
Mayor Halstead, where's Arnie? Where is he? What have you done with him?
Now, young woman, sit right here. Everything's going to be all right.
Mr. Mayor, what's happened? Where's Arnie Douglas?
Safe and sound, locked up in the next room.
What did he say? Why don't you tell us?
Oh, he confessed setting the fires all right. Didn't he, Commissioner?
Yeah, there's the signed confession. But if you ask me, he didn't mean a thing. Oh, a young fella like that one never could or would set fire to as many places as burned down. I tell you, I don't believe he had a thing to do with it. It's somebody else. Somebody else.
You can't hear them talking in the other room, Arnie, my love. But I can. One of them is saying that he doesn't believe you did it, my love. But you did do it, didn't you?
Mercy. Have mercy.
Yes, my love. I will have mercy. Confessions. You signed confessions. They'll want to lock you away behind iron bars. Oh, but they'll never do that, my love. I'm taking you with me to be part of me. Always.
No.
Come close to me, beloved. Close.
No. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Stay away!
What's that?
I don't know.
Arnie! It's Arnie!
Look, under that door.
Smoke, Mother in heaven. There's something burning in there.
That young fella. He's locked up in there.
Arnie!
Let me in. Let me in.
The key. Quick. Here's the key.
Good.
Quickly, Sam. Quickly.
There's no one in here.
Only a flame. A little red flame.
Hey, Matt, how about we check in with Fibber, Magee, and Molly next? That sounds good to me.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber, Magee, and Molly. First Evaporated Milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber, Magee, and Molly with Bill Thompson, Arthur Q. Bryant, Dick LeGrand, Ken Christie, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The woman who's been married a while and whose babies are now school age has no question in her mind about what brand of milk to buy for her family. She gets Pet Evaporated Milk because she knows by experience there is no better milk. She's seen her babies grow strong and sturdy on Pet Milk and knows that no milk is easier for a baby to digest. No milk has a better balance of the milk minerals and vitamin D needed for building sound bones and teeth. She also knows how easy it is with Pet Milk to fix the kind of good, nourishing food her husband and youngsters like best. Fix it for less money, too, because Pet Milk costs less generally than bottled milk or any other form of milk. And she knows that Pet Evaporated Milk isn't a milk substitute. It's the real thing. Good, sweet country milk made double rich by evaporation. There's no better milk, that's for sure. So, for you young wives who are just beginning to keep house, begin now to use the brand of milk found in so many happy homes across the country. Pet brand, Pet Evaporated Milk. There are many children's nursery rhymes which seem to apply to grown-up people as well. For instance, some like it hot, some like it cold, has caused an argument 20 years old in the home of Fibber, Magee, and Molly.
Magee, are you tinkering with that thermostat again?
I'm not tinkering with it, Molly. I'm turning up the heat. Doggone it, this room's colder than a banker's heart.
Magee, I don't think you're actually cold at all. I think it's just your imagination.
Oh, imagination, eh? I suppose it was my imagination when I got up in that walk-in icebox you call a bedroom and had goosebumps so big I had to shave each one separate.
Oh, now, Magee,
And I suppose it was imagination when I sat down to breakfast and didn't have to chew my bacon. I just put it between my teeth and chattered it to pieces.
Oh, now you're...
Why, my gosh, even that picture of Aunt Sarah on the piano there. Why, when I looked at that a while ago, she shivered.
You always did have that effect on Aunt Sarah, dearie.
Well, it's mutual.
Well, anyhow, I hope you're happy at last now that you've turned the furnace up.
Yeah, it is getting a little better in here now. I called the furnace man and asked him to check the furnace and see if he can make it hotter.
You didn't?
Yeah. It'll probably be spring before he gets here, though. Them guys are like plumbers. Which you call them plumbers on account of they plumb forgot you ever called them.
Well, I don't like to say this, dearie, but I think I can tell you why you stay cold and I stay warm in the same room.
Why?
Because I move around and do the work while you sit there like a king.
Oh.
You'd keep warm, too, if you'd ever condescend to get up off your royal rusty-dusty.
Now, just a darn minute, kiddo. Name one thing you do around here that I don't do.
I make the beds. I sweep the floors. I cook the meals. I beat the rugs. I wash...
Please, Molly, please. When I ask you to name one thing, just name one thing. Hey, I think I'll call that furnace man again. Hand me the phone. Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the furnace man. His office. Is that you, Mert?
Oh, dear.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's say, Mert? Your boyfriend at the air base. Testing a jet and like to get killed, did he?
Heavenly days. What did he do? Crash a plane?
No, he was putting a new nozzle on the drinking fountain and the water went up his nose. Like to drown him. What say, Mert? Oh, okay, I'll hang up. Line's busy.
Good.
Well, it's starting to warm up in here now, kiddo. You feel it? Feel it?
Do I feel it? This room is getting hotter than a fry cook's knuckles.
Well, this is the way I like it, Molly.
Well, if this is what you like, why don't you go to Africa and live with the Hottentots?
For your information, Mrs. Magee, a man can like it hot whether he's a Hottentot or not. I'm no Hottentot hotshot, but I've liked it hot since I was a cotton top tot, and any spot that ain't hot is a rotten spot, so it's gotten hot. If you want to make a hit, give me some heat, but if you don't give a hoot about making a hit, shut off the heat and hand me my hat, and I'll be going like a shot to get the heat I ain't got in a red-hot Hottentot hut.
Well, I don't intend to drive you from your home, dearie, but I do maintain it's hot enough in here to steam clams.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoever this is will probably collapse from the heat in here, but come in. Oh, it's Dr. Gamble. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, my dear. And a brief bow in your direction, Poison Puss.
Same to you, bag britches. And close that door. You don't have to act like you were raised in a barn just because you're built like one.
Sorry. What's with Prince Charming this morning, Molly? He has all the tender sweetness of a black widow spider.
Well, we've been having a little discussion about the temperature, Doctor. I claim it's too hot in here.
And I claim it's exactly right.
As usual, you're exactly wrong. It's very hot in here. My first thought when I came in was that you must be growing mushrooms.
There, now, you see, McGee?
Oh, you can't go by what he says. He's never been cold in his big fat life. There's enough blubber on that blimp to keep him warm in a blizzard.
You know, this is a fascinating little character who's leeched onto you here, Molly.
Oh.
He'll make a very interesting chapter in a book I'm working on.
Oh, really, Doctor? What kind of a book are you writing?
Well, it's a collection of my experiences with patients like McGee.
Oh?
Sort of a horror story. In fact, I'd like to put your picture on the cover, my boy.
Oh, fine. What you going to call the book?
I'm calling it Patients That Try My Patience. Or, It Shouldn't Happen to a Doc.
That's very funny, Shakespeare. We all thought. On the level, though, Fatso, when you get all your notes down, bring them over and I'll help you write it. Show you how to put it together.
You ever write a book?
No.
Then don't tell other people how to do it.
You ever have a baby?
Of course not.
Well, then don't tell other people how to do it. Hey, wait a minute, Molly. What are you doing to that thermostat?
Turning it down.
Oh.
Dr. Gamble agrees with me that it's too hot in here.
Yeah, but doggone it, Molly, Doc don't live here and I do. I got a right to be comfortable, haven't I? My gosh, if a guy can't be comfortable in my own home, where can I go?
If there wasn't a lady present, my boy, I could make a suggestion. But you'd probably say it's too cold there, too. The King's Men, and they call the wind Mariah.
I'm a lost and lonely man without a
racket. What are you building, McGee?
I'm not building anything.
Then why all the hammering? What are you doing?
I'm just driving these nails into this 2x4.
Why?
I hoped you'd ask me that, kiddo. I'm trying to warm myself up, that's why.
Now, that's all in your mind, dearie. You just relax. This room is very cozy.
Cozy my ice-cold clavicle. I'd be froze stiff if I hadn't put on all these extra sweaters and stuff.
Say, you are all bundled up, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's that thing sticking out between the two sweaters?
Oh, I don't know. I found that in the bottom drawer of the dresser.
Heavenly days, my dotted Swiss camisole.
It ain't much help, but I'm going to keep it on till this room gets...
Come in. Well, hello there, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, folks.
Hi, Wimp. Hey, close that door. I don't want the 1 degree of temperature we got in here to leak out.
I'm sorry, Mr. McGee. I came by to ask you if
Now,
I
hold
could...
it, Wimp. Before you go any further, tell me this. Molly says this room is just right, and I says it's too cold in here. What do you say?
I do find it a teensy bit cold, Mr. McGee.
Attaboy, I'll turn up the thermostat.
Oh, no.
Well, Wimp's our guest, kiddo. Can't let a guest stand around until you have to defrost him. There. Oh, that feels better already. Now I can take this stuff off.
You know, I don't understand this, Mr. Wimple. Are you cold when you're at home, too?
Oh, no, Mrs. McGee. When I'm home, Sweetie Face always makes it hot for me.
I'll bet she does. What'd you want to ask me, Wimp?
Well, I was out taking pictures of birds with my brownie, and I saw a nest of warblers in your hedge. May I take a picture of them?
My goodness, you don't have to ask permission for that.
Well, I thought I'd better. They're Mr. McGee's warblers, and I'm not the kind of a man who gets familiar with another man's warblers.
Well, sure, Wimp. Take all the pictures you want.
Oh, thank you. These are pink bosom warblers, which are much rarer than the blue bosomed warblers.
Not so many of them, huh?
No, I have a theory that the pink bosom warblers are rarer than the blue bosom warblers because there are more warblers with blue bosoms.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
When I first saw them, I whistled the mating call of the pink bosom warbler to see if the mother bird would respond. It goes like this.
Did she respond, Mr. Wimple?
No, but a blonde who went by gave me her name and phone number. She must have been a bird lover, too.
Well, sure, you can always spot them.
Well, I'll take my pictures now. And, Mrs. McGee, I have a little confession to make.
A confession?
Yes. It's not really cold in here.
No?
I just said so because it's such a treat to disagree with a woman and not get slugged.
So long.
Now, you heard that, McGee. Turn down the furnace.
Oh, gee whiz, Molly, don't make me put that camisole back on. It ain't a very good fit anyhow.
McGee, turn down the furnace.
I'll tell you what. I'll flip a coin for it. Heads, we turn the furnace up some more. Tails, we leave it alone, and then...
Turn down that furnace.
Okay, but gee whiz, there's no need to fix it.
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal. Hey, did I hear voices raised in here?
You certainly did, Mr. Wilcox. We were just discussing the temperature.
Yeah, Molly claims it's too hot in here, Junior.
Well, she's absolutely right, pal. This place is like an oven.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. I'll turn down that thermostat myself. There. Oh, I can feel the blessed relief already.
Hand me them sweaters and the camisole.
Oh, stop kidding, pal. It's not cold in here.
It will be. Every time she fools with that furnace, I start to shiver like a chihuahua in a wet sack.
Well, you know, the cold used to bother me, too, till I worked out a system, kids, and I haven't been cold since. Never fails, this system of mine. Great system.
Who's going to ask him, you or me?
Probably hate myself in 2 minutes, but I'll ask him. What is your system for keeping warm, Junior? Asked little Fibber, placing one hand over his heart and facing toward St. Louis.
Well, I'll tell you, pal. When I get chilly, I just close my eyes and think about Pet evaporated milk, that great product that I represent. And right away, I'm covered with a warm glow of pride.
Rather be covered with my old army overcoat.
Well, you just try it, pal. Think about Pet milk. Think of its pure goodness, its double richness. Think hard, pal.
I'm concentrating.
That's what they do to Pet milk. Concentrated. The double richness by evaporation. You see, ordinary milk, just as it comes from the cow, good, sweet country milk, is about 87% water.
Aren't we all?
But in the process of evaporation, the Pet people remove more than half that water, leaving just good, double-rich Pet milk. Are you getting warm, pal?
McGee, you could warm your hands by the fire in his eyes.
Yes, sir. Pet milk's double richness means that you get all the good, rich substances of whole milk, but only half the water. That's why Pet evaporated milk is such a favored food with housewives.
Hey. Look, Milky.
Everywhere.
Mm.
Yes, pal.
You mean to tell us you keep warm in all kinds of weather just by talking about Pet milk?
That's my system, pal. And if that should ever fail, I've got another system in...
Yeah?
One that's guaranteed to start a big fire.
What that?
Not talking about Pet milk. They'd fire me, they'd fire you, they'd fire all of us. See you around.
Well, did Mr. Wilcox, the system help you any, dearie? You any warmer?
No, but that don't matter. If you want it cold, I ain't going to say another word. I'll just sit here quietly and suffer. And if I should pass away, that don't matter neither. Just put on my tombstone, Fibber Magee, born 1903, froze in 1951.
Now, McGee, you won't get me to turn that furnace up by acting so pitiful. It is not cold in this room.
Oh, hand me that chilled steel hammer and them frosty nails and that ice-covered 2x4. Maybe I can whip up a little circulation with them things.
Hold it, company. Come in.
Well, hello, missus. Hello, McGee.
Hello, Ollie. Come in.
Hi, Ollie.
What you building with the hammer and the two miscantering, McGee? Nothing or something silly?
Nothing. I'm just trying to warm myself up a little. It's cold in here.
Oh, you don't know that it means cold, McGee.
No?
I remember when I was a young fella in Sweden, I used to go out from the house and the snow was 4 feet deep. The wind blows like 60 and there was ice every place. You know, McGee, it is a little cold in here, ain't it?
Yeah, now you're talking, boy. I'll turn up the thermostat. There.
You know, I remember I'd always go to the Swedish gymnasium and took those steam baths.
Yeah.
They put me in a tub of boiling water and wrapped me in heavy blankets, and the sweat pours off me by the quart. Yeah, it's funny now. I feel hot.
I knew you would, Ollie. I'll turn down the thermostat. There.
And then I'd go back home through the street where the ice is all around, and the snow by now is 6 feet deep, and the winter wind is blowing like the dickens. Not by even I'm cold again.
Good. I'll turn up the heat again. There. And you better stop, boy, before we wear out the thermostat.
Better go now, anyhow, McGee. Hey, you stopped by with a message from the Elks Club.
Oh?
Some of the fellas are having a little party Wednesday night down there, and they say only one fella in the whole club can make it a big success. That's McGee.
Oh, well, that's mighty nice of them to say so, Ollie. You can count on me, boy.
Good.
What do they want me to do?
Stay home. So long, both you.
Billy Mills and the orchestra, and Down Yonder.
McGee, I'm hot.
I'm cold.
That's ridiculous. This room is off.
Look, Molly, I'll make a deal with you. You let me turn the heat up some more so I can get warm, and I'll let you open the window so you can get cool. Fair enough?
Well, it's worth a try anyhow.
Good. Ah, that ought to warm it up a little.
Ah, that ought to cool it off a little. McGee, it isn't even cold outside today. How you can sit here bundled up in 3 sweaters.
And a dotted Swiss camisole.
And a dotted Swiss camisole with the thermostat.
Hold it, Molly. Come in. Oh, hi, old-timer.
Hello there, kid.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi, daughter. Hey, Johnny, what you doing with whatever that little thing is on the wall that you're doing something with there? What? Tinkering?
Just turning up the furnace, old-timer.
Yes, we're planning to repaint the room, Mr. Oldtimer. He's trying to burn the paint off.
Oh. Well, that's very interesting, kids. Like I was saying to my girlfriend, Bessie, just this morning, Bessie, I said, put down that ball bat, baby, I says, and don't give me
Say,
that...
how is Bessie these days, anyhow? Didn't I hear something about you two getting engaged?
We sure did, daughter. Yesterday. I went over to Bessie's house and put the ring on her finger myself.
Yeah, she like it?
Johnny, she was tickled to death. Stood there, smiling at me just as radiated as a bride.
You mean radiant? Radiated means something that, sort of spreads out in all directions.
That's her, daughter. That's Yes, sir, that's my Bessie. No, sir, she's kind of messy. Anyway, kids, that was yesterday.
Yeah?
Me and Bessie quarreled today. It's all over now.
My gosh, you mean to tell me you and Bessie have pooped?
Johnny, we have pooped and feuded. Well, kids, my dreamboat of romance, drifting along through the rose-colored embers of love's bright flame, has hit a clinker.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about it. What did you two fight about?
No, it all started over nothing, daughter.
Most lovers' quarrels do.
Over nothing, eh?
Absolutely nothing, Johnny. Bessie says, what did you get me for my birthday? And I says, absolutely nothing, and we was off.
Oh, dear, and after you just given her a ring, too.
She says our engagement is over, and she yanked the ring off of her finger and slang it right in my face.
My gosh, what did you do?
What could I do, Johnny? I picked it up and put it back on my cigar. So long, kid.
So long. Where was I when he came busting in here? Oh, I was cold. I better turn this thermostat up some more on account of because...
McGee, stop it.
Huh?
I've had just about enough. You're just making a thing out of this. You're being unreasonable.
I'm being unreasonable. I am. Ha! Look, Mrs. McGee, maybe you'd be happier if I just packed my few pitiful belongings and went down to the Elks Club for the winter. At least a man can keep warm down there behind the pool table.
That won't be necessary, Mr. McGee. You don't need to trouble yourself. You're the master here. I'm just a woman, that's all. I'll move.
Oh, well, gee whiz, now.
I'll move clear out.
Oh.
Out in the garage.
Oh.
I'll just come in 3 times a day to cook your meals.
Now, gee whiz. You don't have to do that. My gosh, I don't want to argue with you, Tootsie, but... Well, now, let's be fair about this. It is cold in here, ain't it?
It is not. It's hotter than... Come in.
Furnace man, ma'am.
Furnace man? Oh, yes, I believe my husband did call you.
I came by this morning, ma'am. There wasn't anybody home, but I got in the basement door all right.
You did? This morning?
Oh, yes. Good thing I did, too, sir. Main burner was badly shot.
The burner was shot?
Yes. I had to go downtown to pick up a new one. So, in the meantime, I just disconnected your furnace.
You what?
Disconnected it?
You mean the furnace is off?
It's been turned off all day.
Oh.
But I'll have it fixed in a jiffy now. Hope I didn't inconvenience you.
Oh, no. Inconveniences, he says. You made me make a dunce out of myself. That's what you done, Buster. You got me into a big fat argument with my wife. That's what you got me into, a big fat.
Well, I didn't know that.
Got me making silly threats to move to the Elks Club, wearing a dotted Swiss camisole. Inconveniences, he says. You know what I got a good notion to do, Molly?
Poke him in the nose?
No. Take you downtown for dinner, baby. Get your hat. We'll stop by the florist, and I'll buy you an orchid.
Heavenly days, at last he's warming up.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. Do you know why so many good cooks would rather use pet evaporated milk than any other kind? Because pet milk is actually twice as rich as bottled milk in all the nourishing whole milk substances. You see, all cow's milk is about 87% water. By evaporation, the pet milk people take out a little more than half that water. All the nourishing milk substances stay in, but with so much of the water removed, you get those substances in concentrated form. And that's why good cooks like it. You can use it in place of cream, just as it pours from the can, even in place of whipping cream. And for cooking, you can decide for yourself just how rich you want it to be by the amount of water you put back into it. You can add just a little water, or to give it the same consistency as the good sweet country milk had before evaporation, you can mix pet milk with an equal amount of water. And remember, pet evaporated milk, the first all-purpose form of milk, costs less generally than ordinary bottled milk. Get some at your grocer's tomorrow.
Oh, that was a wonderful dinner, McGee.
Your steak okay, Molly? Everything all right?
Oh, perfect.
What you going to have for dessert, kiddo? I want some ice cream. Something cold.
I'd like some mince pie, dearie. Hot mince.
Oh, no. Let's not get into that again, baby. We'll compromise.
What do you mean?
Waiter.
Yes, sir?
2 hot mince pies. A la mode.
Oh. Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, pet milk, brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? Have you considered how much you have to be thankful for this Thanksgiving Day? Jim and Sally Carter think they're grateful for all they have until a strange incident helps them discover many uncounted blessings in the Story of the Week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. You'll also hear the Pet Milk recipe of the week for glazed ham patties, a time and money-saving recipe that gives wonderful new flavor to leftovers or a small amount of meat. Make it a point to be listening next Saturday morning to Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor, coming your way on NBC.
Next, it's Big Town, then Playhouse on Broadway on NBC.
Silver, wait those thrilling days of yesteryear with the Lone Ranger up next.
Hail, Silver, away!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo, Silver, the Lone Ranger. When treaties were signed with the Indians after the close of the Civil War, the frontier looked forward to peace and security. But renegade white men worked on the superstitions of the red men and roused them to rebellion. It was the masked rider of the plains who realized the cause of these fresh outbreaks, and was he more than any other man who made possible a permanent peace between the Indians and the settlers. Return with us now to the thrilling days when the West was young. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Thundercloud's tribe is on the warpath. We've got to hurry. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
A great waterfall cascaded into a deep pool set among huge trees. Suddenly a drum sounded. It seemed to come from the water itself, and knee-deep in the swirling water, Chief Thundercloud and his braves stood waiting.
This is not good, my people. There is no evil spirit of the water. It is some trick of the wind and waterfall that make the drums beat. Hear me. I am Thundercloud, your chief.
There is spirit in water.
Adota, speak not words when your chief speaks.
There is drum in water. It is new spirit. Look, the water bubbles.
This is superstition. There is no spirit. It cannot be.
The spirit of water.
It speaks.
Braves, hear me. I am the spirit of the water. I have come to rule over you.
We hear and obey, Great Spirit.
You must cast out your chiefs. Cast out all who do not believe in me.
Aye! Chief Thundercloud does not believe.
You must cast out all who do not believe.
Braves, hear me. I am Thundercloud, your chief. This thing is evil. You must not do as he commands.
Silence, Thundercloud. When great water spirit speaks, we must listen.
Drive him out. Drive Thundercloud out. Let him roam with the buffalo. He is old. Drive him out.
We hear water spirit. Drive out, old chief.
No, no, my people, no.
Drive him out.
Look, spirit of water has disappeared. He's vanished beneath waves. He is great spirit. He commands magic. We must obey him.
Stop! I am your chief.
Water spirit is spoken.
I am
you
your
must
chief.
Go.
I am Thundercloud.
You must go. Water spirit commands it. The water spirit has taken the tribe from your hands.
Thundercloud must go.
Spirit has spoken.
Adota is right.
Thundercloud will leave the tribe. We are no longer his tribe. He must go.
Is there more wood, Tonto?
Oh, plenty of wood. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's good to be back here, Tonto. Not many know this place. Just those friends of ours, Missouri, Thundercloud, and the others.
Oh, this good place.
Tonto, what was that?
Me hear it.
There it is again. Someone's coming. It's a horse walking through the woods.
That bad. Me put out fire?
No, never mind. The fire must have been seen already. This way, back out of the clearing. It's dark enough so we can stay hidden until we see who this is.
Not good. Maybe a bad man.
This is all right. Down behind this windfall. Keep your gun handy.
Me do it.
Quiet. That horse is coming.
I have come a long way. My white friend is not here.
Stay on that horse. Come on, Tonto. We'd like to get a look at Thundercloud.
At last I have found you.
Oh, what's happened to you, Thundercloud? What is it?
Thundercloud has traveled long. He is very tired.
Here, give me a hand, Tonto. Help him off his horse.
White friend, Thundercloud comes to you for help.
You can count on that always, Kimosabe. Tonto, Thundercloud needs food. I'll wager he hasn't eaten in a week.
Me get it, quick.
Why aren't you with your tribe, Thundercloud?
My tribe has sent me away from the council fires.
What? You mean your brave don't call you their leader anymore?
A spirit has arisen from the water. An evil spirit. My tribe has taken the words of the spirit to be honest words. I come to you, white friend, for help.
Thundercloud.
I am weary. My tribe runs like the wolf in the crazy moon.
Easy, Thundercloud. You're in no condition to talk. You're worn out. Here, lie down beside the fire.
You must save my tribe.
No more talk, Thundercloud. Not now. First, you must rest.
You will help?
Anything you say, old friend. Tonto and I will go out and do what we can. You must stay here and get your strength back.
I must tell you.
Time enough for that. First, you must eat. Then, when we hear what you have to say, you can count on us to ride on the trail.
That is all. There is an end of words. You have heard what there is for me to tell. Now Thundercloud can rest for the first time in a long while.
Him sleep. Yes, Tonto. And he needs it. Did you hear his story?
It's bad.
A spirit that appeared out of the water. What do you make of that, Tonto?
Me not know.
That's not the worst of it. From what Thundercloud said, one of the braves, Cadota, has taken charge. Cadota obeys any command the spirit gives.
Not true.
Even this last command, the one Chief Thundercloud heard when he circled back to the waterfall after his tribe had turned him away.
About trader wagon?
Tonto, that wagon is full of rifles, new rifles. Those Indians get hold of rifles with an unscrupulous leader to command them. They can make trouble.
Not true.
The water spirit is the main thing, Tonto, but there's more time for that. Right now, we've got to save those rifles. Chief Thundercloud will be asleep for a long time, Tonto. We'll go without waking him.
Thundercloud, him won't come along.
And there's no time for it. He's old. He'll need sleep. He can follow our trail later.
Not right, Kimasabi.
Come along. Put plenty of wood on the fire so Thundercloud will be warm until morning.
You fix that.
Fine. This way, Tonto. Get Scout. Here, Silver. Here, old fellow.
Here, Scout.
Steady, old fellow. All right, Tonto. Into the saddle. Get up, Silver. Come on, boy.
Get him up, Scout.
This way, Tonto. Follow me. Stop, Tonto. Look there, across the valley.
You see.
Thundercloud was right. It's a war party from his tribe. You can see the feathers.
That's right. Thundercloud tribe wear feathers that way.
And down below. Isn't that the trader's wagon?
That wagon.
He's got a good pair of horses there. We can warn him before he gets to that narrow neck. We may be able to turn him back.
What good that do?
It's only a few miles back to the nearest town, Tonto. That raiding party won't dare trail him too far.
That good. We go fast, Kimasabi?
If we stay behind the shoulder of this hill, the braves may not see us.
Maybe driver him shoot.
Either way, it's a risk, Tonto. We've got to surprise him before he has a chance to shoot at us. All we need is a moment to make him understand. If he shoots before he finds out, well, that's a risk we've got to take.
We go now. Braves, them get ready.
Yes, this way, Tonto. Round the curve of the hill. Come on, Silver. Stretch those legs.
Get him up, Scout.
Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the... Get along there, you horses. No, you don't, you ornery mare. This here's a two-horse team. You gotta pull your weight. You stop lolling and lean into them traces. Green grow the rushes...
Pull up there.
What the...
Kelvin, pull up.
Tarnation, a masked man.
Gotta get the reins. Pull up, Kelvin.
Get away, masked man, or I'll put a bullet through you.
No, you won't.
Steer clear, masked man. Steer clear out. What?
Sorry I had to do that.
Jehoshaphat, you jumped clean off your horse and onto my wagon. You got my gun.
I had to stop you. It was the only way.
What in thunder's going on here? That there engine is turning my team around. If you're after them rifles, I got you.
We're not after them, Kelvin. Look up there.
Huh?
Look on the hillside.
It's a raiding party. It's them rampaging Indians under Cadota.
Head your wagon back to town. Hurry.
Masked man, I don't know who you are, but you sure come at the right time. Get up there, horses.
Them come fast.
Go ahead, Kelvin. We'll trail you. Here, Silver.
You say Silver, masked man? Glory, you must be the Lone Ranger.
No time for talk now. Pull it on those horses. We'll see you back in town.
Get up there. Come on, you mare. Hit for town.
That's Cadota, all right.
Keep close behind the wagon, Tonto. Shoot over their heads. If we can make them keep their distance, there's a chance. A long chance. Pull up now, Kelvin.
What about them Indians?
They aren't following us anymore. Too close to the town.
Ho up there. Ho, steady. Ho. Well, I sure want to thank you, masked man. If you and your engine part hadn't come along, I'd rid right into ambush.
They were after your rifles.
Darn good thing they didn't get 'em. Them's new sharps were Peters, newest guns in the country. I shiver to think what them scalp-lifting eagle feathers could have done with 'em.
Tell me, Kelvin, has that tribe given you any trouble lately?
Trouble? Listen, mister. Since old Chief Thundercloud left, they've been a roaring, raving mess of trouble. They've been ranging all over the countryside.
You hear that, Tonto?
Me here.
I understand a brave named Cadota has taken over the tribe.
Yeah, we've been hearing some crazy talk about a spirit that comes out of the water, too. Sort of eggs them braves on. Say, how come you knew my name?
We heard your wagon was going to be attacked, Kelvin.
But you ain't been in town.
We heard it from someone else, from Chief Thundercloud.
No.
Him good friend, the Lone Ranger.
Well, it sure does beat the dickens. Old Thundercloud himself.
We're trying to help him get back control of his tribe.
Yeah?
You don't think it can be done?
I wish him luck, but I sure wouldn't place my bets on him. That water spirit, or whatever it is them braves of his hog-tied and rootin' wild.
Have any of the townspeople gone near the spot where this spirit is supposed to appear?
No, sir, mister. That's Indian country. Besides, it's all fired spooky that way. Lots of big, tall trees. So thick the sun don't hardly get through. No, sir.
Are you doing anything to stop the braves?
Well, we are. Couldn't do much by our lonesomes, but a passel of the boys sent a petition to the governor of the territory. And
asking for soldiers, huh?
We're going to get 'em, too. Only thing is, it's a mighty big territory. Maybe a couple of months before they get around to taking care of it.
Look, some of them come from town.
Well, that's Bradford.
What's all the ruckus, Kelvin? Seems I heard shooting out this way.
A raiding party of Indians attempted to ambush Kelvin for his rifles.
Yeah.
Bradford, if it hadn't been for this stranger
Here's
here...
one of you playing along with a masked man, Kelvin, an outlaw and a savage.
Easy there, Bradford. This hombre's a Lone Ranger.
Huh?
Never mind that. If your team's rested, Kelvin, we'd better go the rest of the way into town.
Yeah, I reckon so.
You aim to stay long, mister?
We've heard a lot about this water spirit, Bradford.
That's right.
They're friends of old Chief Thundercloud.
That's so. He ain't near the town, is he?
Not yet, but he will be soon. When he arrives, we're going to do a little investigating.
You mean this here nonsense about that water spirit?
Perhaps.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I got to be getting along.
Not coming back to town, Bradford?
Nope, I'm heading the other way. Be seeing you.
He seemed anxious to leave us, didn't he? I wonder where he's going.
Luke, where are you? Come out behind the waterfall. Luke. I got news.
Yeah, well, wait till I shake some of this water out of my ear.
You can hear plenty good already. Luke, we're heading for trouble.
You mean somebody knows about the waterfall and the spirit?
No, not yet.
What's the trouble?
Hey, let me finish. I said no one knows, not yet. But there's a masked man getting mighty suspicious. A friend of old Chief Thundercloud.
A masked man?
Yeah, Luke. It's a Lone Ranger. I think maybe we'd better start figuring how to make sure he don't learn nothing.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments.
Now, to continue our story. The Lone Ranger and Tonto waited for Chief Thundercloud at Kelvin's cabin in town.
You waiting for old Thundercloud, masked man?
Yes, Kelvin. Chief Thundercloud knows the way to that waterfall.
So do plenty others. But they ain't going there.
We not afraid.
From what I hear, it ain't healthy.
We'll worry about that when the time comes. It's getting dark outside.
You see something?
Not yet, Tonto. I hope nothing has happened to Chief Thundercloud.
Him, old man.
You left plenty of food for a masked man?
Plenty.
What that?
Huh?
Listen. There it is again.
Well, I'll be. It's a coyote. I'll fix a consarn critter.
Wait, Kelvin, that's not a coyote.
You telling me what a coyote sounds like? I'll learn it to keep its distance.
Put up that gun before you hurt somebody.
That's not coyote. That's Chief Thundercloud.
Huh?
That's the signal we agreed upon. Here he comes now.
Well, tie me to a tree stump. You're right.
I have come, white friend. When shall we three go to the haunted waters?
We've been waiting for you, Thundercloud.
We all ready.
You going right now, masked man?
We want to be there by morning. You'll hear from us later.
You're making a mistake heading for trouble.
It's the only way to solve it. Yes, Silver.
Steady, Scout.
Show the way, Chief. Goodbye, Kelvin.
Adios, masked man. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
We near water. Want to hear sound.
Not a very cheerful place, is it, Tonto?
Oh, it's bad.
We stop.
So that's where the spirit appears.
From the water?
Yes, Tonto. No wonder Thundercloud's tribe regarded it with superstitious awe.
You can help, Thundercloud?
We'll have to ride into the water and take a closer look, old friend. I'm certain there's some trickery here. The question is what and who.
White friend.
What is it, Tonto?
Look, there.
I see. Braves in war paint.
Those are my people. I am sorry I have led you into a trap.
We fight Kemosabe?
No, Tonto. There's too many of them. It would only make matters worse. Tonto, Chief, let yourselves be taken prisoner. Don't try to resist.
What you do?
I'm diving Silver into the water. And don't be surprised no matter what happens.
White friend has a plan?
I'll return to get you away from the Braves. Don't worry. No time now. Just trust me, Kemosabe.
You go. Braves come.
Take them alive! It is Commander Waters' spirit!
Come on, Silver. Jump, Silver. Into the water.
The masked one has jumped into the water.
What will do the others?
We take them. Water spirits say we tie them up in village.
You get us. Not White friend.
Where is White friend?
He does not come up. Spirit has taken him.
Masked one has been swallowed by great spirit of the water. You see, Chief Thundercloud, the spirit is mighty. Take them prisoner. Take them.
Sounds like that ride is stopping here. The latch string's out. Come in with your hands up. The masked man.
Kelvin, I want your help.
Where you been? Where's Thundercloud, your Indian friend?
They've been captured by Cadota.
What? Say, how come your clothes are wet?
They were waiting for us at the waterfall. I jumped Silver into the water.
You didn't desert them?
No, Kelvin. It was the only way I could find out about the spirit of the water. Does this spur belong to you?
Huh?
Cadota was told we would be at the waterfall this morning. Very few people knew we were going there.
You don't think I done it?
I'm asking you about this spur.
Let me see.
Well?
Ain't mine, no, sir. Looks sort of familiar, though.
Who in this section wears gold spurs with a design in silver on them?
That's what I'm puzzling over, stranger. Bradford.
Who?
Bradford, that's it. He's the hombre who owns this here spur. Sure, I remember now.
Have I met him, Kelvin?
Oh, I don't reckon so. Hold on. Sure you met him. Recollect the man who rode out from town after we slipped away from that raiding party?
That was Bradford?
Yeah. Him and Luke are two men that's going to end up dangling from a rope. They're no good.
Bradford and Luke, huh?
They've been staying out of jail lately, though. I can't figure it neither. Them two's got plenty of money. And yet there ain't been no stage holdups, and nobody complaining about being cold-decked.
Kelvin, that's what I've been trying to find out. Can I count on you for help?
Shucks, didn't you save my rifles and my scalp? Anything you say.
I want you to keep an eye on those two men. Keep your horse saddled, ready to ride. And let me know when they leave town.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to save my friends.
Huh?
You know where the tribe is camped?
Sure. About a mile from the waterfall. Right in the valley below Eagle Rock.
I'll be on the rock above the valley. When Bradford and Luke leave town, you let me know, understand?
Yeah.
I'm heading for Eagle Rock now.
Say,
yes?
Master, where'd you find that there spur?
I found it under the waterfall, Kelvin.
Under the... You take me for a maverick?
I haven't time now, Kelvin. I'll explain later. Remember, Eagle Rock.
Maskman! Hey, Maskman!
Here I am, Kelvin.
I come just as fast as I could.
Bradford and Luke left town?
Yeah, they packed some grub with them, too.
How long ago?
5, maybe 6 hours. I don't know which way they was heading. You told me to hightail as soon as they pulled stakes.
All right, Kelvin, that doesn't matter. I'm going to get Tonto and Chief Thundercloud away from those Braves.
You can count on me, Maskman.
And not this time, Kelvin. Those Braves have sharp ears. I'll handle this alone.
Thundercloud, someone come.
I hear.
Him cut through back of wigwam.
Tonto.
Me know you come.
Quick, hold out your hands. I'll cut your bonds.
You hurry, white friend. The sun comes up soon.
There. Now you, Thundercloud.
Me free.
Help me get Thundercloud loose. That's it. Out this way. Through the rip in the wigwam.
Get out.
Careful. Don't make a sound.
You got horses?
Behind this clump of brush. I got Scout and Thundercloud's horse from the picket line. The Braves weren't even guarding them. And that's not all. I got something else, Tonto. Look.
Cadota.
Yes. We're going to need him, Tonto. That gag stays in your mouth, Cadota, until we mount. Here, Silver. Yep. All right, Tonto. Lift him up in front of me. Silver can easily carry double.
You do it.
That's fine. Now listen to me, Cadota. You believe in the spirit of the water. You drove Chief Thundercloud out of the tribe. You've gone against all the teachings of your medicine men.
That is true, white friend.
You're going to be shown that you were wrong, that you allowed superstition and falsehood to lead the braves into wrongdoing. Tonto, Kelvin is waiting at Eagle Rock for me to return. You ride on ahead. Tell them to be ready to join us.
What you mean?
I'm going to rouse the braves.
No.
I want them to come after me as fast as they can. I want to make sure I have all the braves with us when we reach the waterfall. Go ahead.
Tonto, do it. Get him up, Scout.
White friend will be in danger.
The braves won't shoot you, Thundercloud. Nor will they shoot Cadota. Now, I've taken the gag off. Shout for your braves, and I'll help rouse them by shooting in the air. Ride, Thundercloud. Get up, Silver. Come on, Silver. Here they come. Ride, old friend. Come on, Silver. Stop! Rein up! Go, Silver!
You make mistake, masked man. My braves soon be here.
Yeah, Cadota's right, masked man. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes. That's all you got before them Indians get here.
That's long enough, Kelvin. Tonto, I want you to stay here with Thundercloud and Kelvin.
Me do it. And where you go, Kimasabi?
I'm taking Cadota into the pool below the waterfall where I went the other day. But this time I'll leave Silver here on the shore. Dismount, Cadota.
No, this is home of water spirit.
Come along.
No.
You saw me dive in and live. Why are you afraid?
Where we go?
We're swimming under the waterfall, Cadota, and up on the other side.
No.
Take a deep breath. You'll need it. Ready. Dive.
We got them Indians eating out of our hands, here we lose.
Don't forget, Bradford, it was me discovered a man could swim under the waterfall and couple under a nice, dry shelf of rock.
Yeah, but it was me what used the brains, Luke. Getting that suit all stained black and staining my face. Putting on this act about a spirit coming from the water. That's what's bringing in returns.
How much we got now, Bradford?
Well, last time I counted, there was maybe 100,000 in gold dust. Them redskins throws plenty into the water. Sacrifices to the water spirits.
Yeah. But once in a while, them gold folks ain't closed up tight. We lose plenty of dust when it washes downstream.
We still got plenty of it.
What was that? Sounded like a rock falling. I sure hope this rock ledge ain't caving in.
No, it's your crooked scheme that's caving in.
A
masked man.
Cadota, you heard?
I heard, masked man.
Oh, you got onto our little scheme, huh? Well, it ain't gonna do you no good. Your guns are wet, masked man. You can't burn powder. Let him have it, Luke.
Come on, Cadota.
Let go.
Let
go. Let go of my arm, you...
I don't need a gun for you.
The masked man has strong right arm.
Cadota, are you ready to swim back to our friends?
I am ready, masked man.
Good. You take Luke. I'll take Bradford. Hurry.
Good thing Indians are naturally careful, Chief. You braves ain't rushed us yet.
They will come soon.
Wherever the masked man took Cadota, I sure pray he hurries back. I can feel my scalp getting loose already.
You wait. White friend, say him come back. Him come back.
Look, well, I'll be. It's a masked man in Cadota. They got a couple of men with him.
Drop Luke on the shore, Cadota. They won't bother us.
Me glad to see you back, Kimasabi.
Hey, what's been going on? There's Bradford and Luke.
You'd better take charge of them, Kelvin. You can deliver them to the sheriff.
It'll be a pleasure. But what in time...
If you want an explanation, listen to Cadota. He's going to talk to the braves.
Braves! The masked man has uncovered a wrong we have done to our chief, Thundercloud.
Me glad to see you alive, Kimasabi.
It was the only way, Tonto. I think we can go now.
There is no water spirit. It was these white men, Bradford and Luke, who trick us. They are bad. Chief Thundercloud, can you forgive?
Cadota, you and my braves are mine once more. You have seen the wrong path you were taking. You have worshipped a false spirit. You must make amends to the Great Spirit. But you will be forgiven. My people are on the right path, once again.
Masked man, you sure save this territory a heap of trouble, but... Well, I'll be hog-tied. Look at him. He's halfway to the next county already.
The story you've just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger, Incorporated.
Night Beat is coming up next on Nightly Old Time Radio Shows.
Night Beat.
Hi, this is Randy Stone. I cover the night beat for the Chicago Star. Stories start in many different ways. But tonight's story began when one man tried to destroy another with the strangest weapon of all, darkness.
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone.
When your job is to walk into the darkness and discover what makes a city tick, you pick up some mighty strange friends. The winos dreaming of a muscatel paradise in cold, dark doorways. The petty larceny boys with their fast deals. The painted little dames defying the world with their brassy laughter. The homeless, the hopeless. In the city, night is for the lost. And sometimes you feel a hunger to be with someone of the everyday world, some nice, well-adjusted soul who's got a reason for waking up tomorrow morning. I guess that's why I dropped in to see Bessie Chatfield tonight. Bessie's a little gray-haired librarian who has charge of a small storefront library on Huron Street. No one around this time of night but Bessie and a young fellow in a gray raincoat alone at a reading table.
Mr. Stone. Well, we haven't seen you, in such a long time.
Well, since Forever Amber, you haven't had the kind of high-type literature that interests me.
And when you finally do drop in, look what time you get here. 10 o'clock. Right when I have to go over and start turning out the lights.
I timed it that way so I could get you behind those bookcases, away from that fellow with the reading desk.
Well, I'm afraid your timing is about 35 years off, Mr. Stone. These light switches. Why do they always put them up so high?
Aren't you going to tell that fellow it's time to go home?
This is the way we tell them. We flick off the lights and then flick them on again. First off, like this.
No, don't do that. No!
What?
Turn the lights on quick. Let me handle him.
Steady.
are you doing that, mister? That's supposed to be smart or something.
Oh, take it easy, fella. Take it easy.
Or did he pay you to do it? Is that the deal?
Huh?
You tell George Brewster that the game doesn't amuse me anymore. You tell him if he keeps that up, I'll kill him.
Oh, wait. I turned the lights out. It's closing time.
What? Closing time? Oh. Yes, of course.
What's wrong with you, buddy? You sick or something?
Sick, yes, that's me, sick. Only mine's a childhood disease. Childhood.
No, what in the world was that?
I don't know. Ever seen him before?
He's come in a couple of times this week. Spent all his time reading some reference books at the table. Seemed to be such a nice, polite young man. Considerate, kindly.
Let's take a look at those books.
Oh, my heavens, my heart is beating a mile a minute. And did you see his face? It frightened me.
He was even more scared than we were.
Of what?
These are books he was reading?
Yes.
The Mind in Limbo, Abnormal Psychology, Modern Psychiatry.
Why would he want books like this?
Maybe he was looking for somebody in these books.
Who?
Himself, Bessie? Probably himself. Bessie was pretty upset, so after she locked up for the night, I started walking her toward the elevated station over on Lake Street. We'd walked a couple of blocks through the dark, empty streets when suddenly Bessie grabbed my arm.
Mr. Stone, that man down the street, looking in that store window.
Hmm?
That's him.
Oh, yes, same gray raincoat, same lad.
And look, Mr. Stone, what's that in his hand?
That's a piece of pipe or something.
He's breaking that store window.
Yeah, you wait right here, honey.
Be careful, Mr. Stone, be careful.
The fellow was reaching through the broken window glass for whatever it was that had struck his fancy. He heard me coming and turned toward me. The wan streetlight did something to his face. It seemed twisted and torn. Blood was running down his hand where the glass had cut it. Then I saw what he'd taken from the window. A gun. What's the idea, pal? He spun around and started running for the elevated station down the block. And in the best tradition of the Rover boys, I stayed right on his tail. He turned back to see how I was doing. He stumbled over a trash can at the curb. I caught up with him, grabbing his arm.
Go of me. Leave me alone. Let go of me.
He slashed the gun across my face and began running again. I stopped long enough to take a quick inventory of my teeth. Up above, I heard the elevator train coming into the station. The young fellow had reached the station steps and was going up fast, trying to make that train. I reached for one of his legs. He turned and gave it to me right in the stomach. I folded up, and I just sat there. I listened to the train pull away with a fellow on it, and remembered what Bessie had said about him being such a nice, polite young man. After a while, I began to feel somewhat human again. I notified the police what had happened, and they sent a squad car out. After they left, I remembered something, a name this nice, polite young man had been throwing around. George Brewster. I found a phone book in a cigar store. There were 3 George Brewsters. The first number didn't answer. I tried the second.
Hello?
I'd like to speak to George Brewster.
Oh, he's not in right now. Is there any message?
Who is this?
I'm his sister. Is anything wrong?
Well, if this is the right George Brewster, something is wrong. Is there any reason why a young fellow should want to kill your brother?
Oh, that would be Morrison. Oh, I warned George.
Morrison, huh?
Tom Morrison.
Where does he live?
Our old apartment, 612 Hamlin Avenue. What makes you think he wants to kill George?
Well, this character broke into a store tonight and stole a gun. I sort of think he had your brother in mind when he did it.
Oh, no. What am I going to do?
Well, lady, I know what I'm going to do. As fast as I hang up and get another nickel into this phone, I'm going to call the police.
Oh, I feel so bad. It's not really Morrison's fault, poor man.
Oh, no. He's just a prince of a fellow. Goodbye, lady. I've got to make a call. But then it turned out that I didn't have a nickel. And on the way to the counter for change, I started wondering why the sister of the man he was going to kill felt sorry for Morrison. And why Bessie thought he was such a sweet character. And, well, the night was young, and 612 Hamlin Avenue couldn't wait, and I could call the cops later. 612 North Hamlin was a second-floor flat on the north side. I got there a few minutes after 11 that night. All the windows were lit up. I rang the bell and I waited. I felt a little bead of sweat zigzagging down my face like I didn't have any place to go.
Yes? Oh, it's you.
No, let's not close the door just yet. In fact, let's push it open all the way.
What do you want?
My 2 front teeth and a few ribs.
Get out of here.
Now, look, pal, don't tempt me. I came against my better judgment to listen to what you've got to say. If I leave now, the only place I'm going is the nearest police station.
Police station. I guess maybe that would be the best.
What?
Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I guess you better call the police, mister.
What do you think you're doing, calling my bluff?
The phone's right behind you.
Okay, buddy, you asked for it. Sure this is the way you want it?
It's better this way. I'm at the end of my rope. I don't want to kill him.
George Brewster?
Yes, George Brewster. I know how it'll end if he doesn't stop.
Stop what?
Call the police, mister. You'd be doing me a favor.
Since when have I got to do you favors?
Well, why aren't you calling?
I'm an Eagle Scout in good standing. I haven't done my good deed for today.
You can't help me, mister.
Stone is the name. What makes you so sure I can?
Thanks for even wanting to. After that bad time I gave you.
Bad time? That's the understatement of the year.
Well, I was panic-stricken. You got me half crazy.
Well, what have you got to lose if you tell me about it?
No.
Okay.
Wait. I don't know. I'm like a drowning man grasping at straws. Look, maybe if you talk to Brewster, told him what he's doing to me, maybe he'd leave me alone.
Well, you never can tell. But I'd have to know what I'm talking about.
It's quite a story, mister. These lights. Look at them. Bright as the sun, aren't they? Lamps. Overhead chandeliers. Look at them.
I'd hate to see your light bills.
Like some men need drugs. That's how I need these lights.
Come again?
My sanity depends on it. My very sanity.
On these lights?
It's a sickness. You've even got a name for it. Noctophobia, it's called. Fear of darkness.
Fear of darkness? That's for kids. No, I take that back. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I quite agree. Kids. Or neurotic women. But in a man of my age, it's quite ridiculous. And when the day starts drawing to a close, when the night starts crowding in.
Have you been to a doctor?
Sure, I've been to doctors. They tell me I shouldn't feel too badly. Plenty of people with my trouble. A hangover from childhood. An illness. Like heart trouble is an illness. I'll take the heart trouble.
Maybe you haven't gone to the right kind of a doctor. Maybe psychiatry could help you.
Nothing's going to help me. George Brewster's going to see to that.
What about this, Brewster?
He's trying to destroy me. With the strangest weapon of all.
The strangest weapon of all?
Yes. His weapon is the night.
You are listening to Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy. In a moment, we'll return to Night Beat and Randy Stone. But first, we'd like to call your attention to another great NBC mystery adventure program. Every Sunday, you'll want to hear the exciting new Christopher London series with screen actor Glenn Ford in the title role. Stories for Christopher London are furnished by Earl Stanley Gardner, one of the most famous mystery story writers in America. There is no doubt about the greatness of Gardner's stories, and with the superb acting of Glenn Ford, Christopher London should be must-listening for every mystery fan. Make a listening date now to hear the exciting adventures of Christopher London every Sunday over most of these same NBC stations. And now, back to Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone in Night Beat.
It was a weird feeling standing in Morrison's brilliantly lighted parlor listening to him tell me about his terror of darkness. A sturdy, healthy-looking man trapped by a childhood nightmare. I felt guilt listening to him like I was eavesdropping into a dark corner of his mind that was nobody's business but his own. And yet he had to tell me because he needed help. Because George Brewster was using Morrison's fear to destroy him.
I was sent to Chicago by our company to replace Brewster, Stone. Till he found out why I was here, he couldn't do enough for me. He even got me this apartment.
Greater love has no man.
Then he found out what the setup was. He changed fast enough.
How did he find out about this fear of yours?
Well, I'm telling you how. The other night, the two of us were working alone in the big vault down at the office, working on some old account or other. The overhead light. It blew out.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was so sudden, I couldn't help myself. I tried to keep calm, but... Well, it's like something tearing me to pieces inside. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't... Finally, I had to run.
So he found out...
No, he wasn't sure, but it started him thinking.
Yes, I see.
Next afternoon, he came over to my desk. He was jovial, friendly, like he'd been in the beginning. Saying we'd been at each other's throats long enough. Inviting me to have dinner with him that night. Right from work, we went to his favorite spot on the north side, a place called the Catacombs. I began feeling uneasy the moment I entered.
How do you like this place, Tom?
That's okay. It's fine.
It's been a favorite of mine for years. One spot in particular, the wine cellar. How do you feel about wine?
Oh, I like it all right.
Come along with me. I'm a wine man from way back.
Say, George, I wanted to talk to you about that little outburst last night.
They have a different wine cellar here with a different temperature for each type of wine.
I haven't been sleeping well, you see.
Me, I prefer Riesling myself. Well, here we are.
Huh?
At the white wine cellar. We'll select our own brand for our supper. Here, I'll open the door. Yeah, this is a privilege only an old customer like me can get away with. Come on.
Dark down there.
That's why they've got this candle here on the ledge. Got a match?
Well,
A match, Tom.
Yeah. Here.
Okay. I'll get this candle going. Good. Now, let's go downstairs.
George, you think we should do this on our own?
Done it hundreds of times. Been coming here for the last 10 years. Well, now let's go down these stairs. Careful.
Yeah. George, I was explaining about last night.
Candle casts funny shadows, doesn't it? You notice how cool it is? 20 feet below street level here.
Look, I want to talk about last night. I don't want any misunderstanding.
Huh?
It's just that I've been working pretty hard.
Look, Tom. Will it make you feel better if you showed me you're not afraid of the dark? Okay, you can show me. I'll blow out the candle.
What are you trying to prove, Brewster?
Nothing at all. It's your idea.
Where are those matches I gave you?
You gave me some matches? Well, I must have lost them.
It's not going to work, Brewster. I'm not insane, you know. I can stay down here until you're quite satisfied.
Funny, isn't it, about the darkness? The way it seems to close in on you. The way you start thinking you can't breathe. I know, I can see how someone could... What's the matter, Tom?
This is ridiculous.
Something so suffocating about a dark room.
Stop it. Stop it.
Only the heavy, smothering blackness.
Stop it.
Where are you going, Tom? Anything wrong? Anything wrong? Anything wrong?
Ran out of that cellar like a kid scared to death, Stone.
It was a rotten thing for him to do.
Well, he's fighting for his job, Stone. He's not too young anymore. He can't start all over again, so he'll do anything.
Oh, great.
I'm sure he's told the people down at work. I'm sure they're all laughing at me behind my back. You don't know what that does to me.
I can imagine.
Today I found a new desk lamp on my desk, courtesy of George Brewster. Every day, something like that.
Did you ask him why he's doing it?
He won't admit he's doing anything. Says it's all my imagination. Maybe I ought to see a doctor. Or better still, maybe a change of climate would help. Well, I'd leave town in a minute. Only my future's at stake, too. Before I let him drive me crazy, I'll kill him.
Well, I'm going now. I'm going to talk to this bird. Where does he live?
Out in the suburbs, Lake Forest. He lives with his sister.
All right, I'll give you a ring as soon as I've seen him.
Mr. Stone, I hope you can do some good.
Yeah. Oh. Say, I almost forgot something.
What?
That gun you made off with.
Well,
Maybe if we're lucky, we can talk the store owner out of pressing charges. I'll try it.
That was a crazy thing to do. I was so desperate.
Wouldn't have done you much good. When they put them in the window, they never loaded. I'll let you in on a secret. If I hadn't known that, I wouldn't have been such a hero coming here tonight.
I'll let you in on a secret, Mr. Stone. You can get bullets without a license. The gun's loaded now.
Oh, great. All right, go and get it for me.
All right. Yes, I want to give it to you. It's in my bedroom.
He started for the bedroom. And then it was almost like a comedy routine where after the big build-up, the punchline comes right out on cue. The moment he entered the other room, every light in the house suddenly went out.
What happened to the lights? Take it easy.
Where's the fuse box?
I don't know. Never had any occasion to use it. Besides, if it was a fuse, all the lights wouldn't go out. It wasn't you.
Use your head. How could I do it?
I'm getting out of here. All lights out, too. Stone,
well, maybe something went wrong with the central wire.
But why should it happen exactly now? Wait,
huh?
The downstairs apartment. Their lights are on. If it was the wire...
All right. Let's ask them where the fuse box is.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Morris.
My lights went out. It might be a fuse. Where are the fuse boxes for these apartments?
Out in the back. I'll get a flashlight and show you. Here we are. The fuse box is right here below our meters. Whenever the people from the light company come out, they have a dickens of a time finding it.
Will you hold the flashlight steady and let me take a look?
Wait a minute, Stone. Lower the flashlight just a little.
Huh?
It's not the fuse. Look at the master switch on my meter. Look at the one of Mrs. Graham's.
Why, somebody pulled your switch down to off.
Yes. Yes, someone surely did.
Well, here, let me push it up. There.
And look upstairs. All your lights are on again.
That's probably some kids playing a joke.
How do you suppose the rascals ever found it? It's so well hidden.
I've got a theory that all kids come equipped with a special radar for finding things like this.
Mrs. Graham, tell this gentleman who used to live in my apartment before I did.
Why?
Tell him.
Why, you know. He even got the apartment for you. Your friend, Mr. Brewster. But what is that?
Tom, that doesn't prove he did it.
For me, it does, Stone. For me, it does.
Morrison went around to the front of his house and up the stairs to his flat. I waited in the hallway until he came down again. He looked different. His face was hard and set. His eyes were like chunks of glass punched into the flesh.
What are you waiting for, Stone?
When we were so rudely interrupted, you were going for the gun.
I've got it now.
Ah, yes. Hand it over. I'll bring it back.
No, thanks.
Well, where are you going and what are you going to do?
I'm fighting for my sanity, my life. He's never going to do this to me again. Never.
I can't let you do that.
You're not going to have to.
The minute you leave, I'm going to call every cop in the book.
Yes, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yes.
Then I'd better give you the gun.
This could become habit-forming. I dropped to my knees in the hallway, and then the hallway subdivided like something under a microscope, and there were 2 hallways, and then there were 4. And then everywhere I looked, there were hallways. Morrison tried to push me aside and get by me, only it was a whole circle of Morrisons. I grabbed at his legs to hold him back, and it was like grabbing at a centipede. Then all the Morrisons in all the hallways brought all their guns down on my one poor head. And that was it, brothers and sisters, that was it.
Feeling better, Mr. Stone?
Oh, if I felt any better, I'd call an embalmer. Oh, what a business.
I heard a commotion, and I came out, and you were lying here.
Oh, is this my head or is it a cantaloupe?
Oh, how did it happen, and where's Mr. Morrison?
Oh, Morrison, yes. How long ago did you hear this commotion?
Well, just a couple of minutes ago. You came out of it real fast.
Yeah, I've got an iron constitution. Have you got a phone?
Well, yes, but don't you think you
Come on, lady. Grab my head, put it back on nice and neat, and let's get to that phone. Hello, this is the fellow who called you before, Miss Brewster, about Morrison and your brother.
Oh, yes.
He's not there yet, huh?
No, my brother is...
I don't mean your brother. I mean Morrison.
What? No. Is he...
Oh, yes, he sure is. Now, give me your address, and the minute you hang up, get away from your house as fast as you can. Morrison's got a gun, and he's half crazy.
Maybe we should call the police.
Well, maybe we should, but I'm not going to. They'd throw the book at him, 10 years for attempted murder. I think I can stop him before he does anything.
Oh, I can't tell you how sorry I am about this.
Lady, you and your brother should be. path got me out to their Lake Forest house in less than 20 minutes. The house was on a hill, and a flagstone path wound round and round for a city block until it reached the front porch. As I ran up the walk, my head started rattling like a handful of pennies in a tin cup. I felt weak and tired. All the time I tried not to think about what I'd find when I reached the house. And now I was at the end of the path, walking toward the front porch. A nerve deep in my throat started jangling like a burglar alarm. The house was in darkness, and Morrison was standing beneath a little porch light, his gun pointed right at me.
You won't quit, will you, Stone?
What have you done with him, Tom?
He hasn't done anything with him yet, Mr. Stone.
Huh? Who is...
I'm sitting over here at the end of the porch. I'm George's sister.
Oh. I didn't see you in the dark. Why didn't you get away like I told you?
I won't hurt her. It's him. He'll be coming along soon.
George would never have done anything. I begged him not to. Take advantage of a man's weakness.
Well, Mr. Brewster is coming home.
What?
His car's stopping at the bottom of the hill. Now he's starting the long climb.
Morrison, listen to me.
You just sit there, the both of you. And I must insist that you be very quiet.
Please, listen to me. Please. Please.
Keep coming up that path, Brewster. It's a long, long way.
You must listen to me.
Morrison.
You don't know what you're
waiting
doing.
near the porch light, the gun in
George
his
hurt
hand.
you. You shouldn't have done that.
Far below the small
What
figure
you're
of
doing
George
is
Brewster
so
making a long, slow
to
climb.
realize that you're going to kill George because he found out about your fears. But don't you see, George is afraid, too. Of bigger things. Of being 53 and seeing his whole life going down.
Brewster
the
had
drain.
stopped at the first landing to
That's
catch
why
his
he
breath.
hurt you.
Now he was climbing up the path again.
He was fighting.
Maybe 100 steps from his death. I found myself counting the steps.
Why are you afraid of the darkness? Don't you see? If you weren't afraid, George couldn't hurt you anymore. Please, listen to me.
Keep your voice down. If you try to warn him, you both die, too. Keep coming, Brewster.
Yes, he kept coming. No more than 70 steps now.
What is there to fear about the dark?
The girl's voice going on and on.
Nothing.
Brewster getting closer.
All it does is hide the world.
Less than 50 steps now. 40 steps. 30 steps.
If you believe in God, if you believe in your own soul, how can you fear the night? What is there in the darkness that can hurt you? There's such peace in the darkness. After the heat of day is gone, the rush, the tumult, the struggle, you can breathe easy again. You can let the tightness inside unwind.
He's almost closer.
Listen to me. Please listen.
It's not going to work, Miss Brewster. I'm going to try and...
Wait.
Miss Brewster.
Stay where you are, Miss Brewster.
No. You must see me in the light.
I tell you, stay where...
Tom. Look at her.
I didn't realize.
I'm not afraid. What right have you to fear?
Julie, is that you on the porch?
What right have you to fear, Mr. Morris?
What right?
Oh, what a long climb. Must be getting old. Well, what are you doing here, Morrison? And who's this?
Oh, don't mind me. I just came along for the ride.
What's this all about?
I just came to say goodbye, Brewster.
You're leaving?
Yes. I'm going back and tell them you've done a good job here. It's not fair to replace you after so many years.
You sure nobody scared you away, Morrison?
Look at him, Brewster. Does he look like he's afraid? I don't know if Julie cured Morrison of his fear of darkness. Cure is a pretty strong word. But maybe she helped. I kind of think so. I do know this. It's going to be mighty hard for Tom to fear the darkness, knowing Julie is not afraid. But neither Tom nor I will ever forget what we saw as the porch light lit up her face. Julie Brewster, who did not fear the darkness, was blind. now that part of the story they always print in heavy type, the moral. And don't smile so indulgently. Morals are very nice things. Some of my best friends have morals. You know, seriously, Julie's whole life is a moral in itself. And trying to top it is like trying to follow Al Jolson with a Mammy song. The best you can do is tip your hat to the fellow who wrote, "Out of the night that covers me, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul." He must have had someone like Julie in mind. Well, 4 o'clock in the morning, stale cup of coffee, a tired sandwich, and a story to dictate, and I worry about my unconquerable soul. Ah, me. Give me a rewrite.
Night Beat, a new dramatic series, stars Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone. Night Beat is written by Larry Marcus and directed by Warren Lewis. Music by Frank Worth. Listen next week at this same time and every week as Randy Stone searches through the city for the strange stories waiting for him in the darkness. The stories that come out of the shadows to find their way into Night Beat. Stay tuned for Brian Donlevy and Dangerous Assignment on...
Up next on Nightly Old Time Radio Shows, enjoy the adventures of Nick Carter, Master Detective.
What's the matter? What is it?
Another case for Nick Carter, Master Detective.
Yes, it's another case for that most famous of all manhunters, the detective whose ability at solving crime is unequaled in the history of detective fiction, Nick Carter, Master Detective. Tonight's curious adventure...
State's prison evidence on Nick Carter and the mystery of the midnight robbery.
Pardon me, could you let me have a line?
Certainly. There you are.
Swell night, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. It's a pleasure to walk on a night like this.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Not at all.
Good night.
Good night. Yes, even in a big city like this, the stars are just as...
Help!
What? I wonder what's wrong with her. I beg your pardon, but is there anything I can do? Can I help you? Is something wrong?
Murder!
Murder? Who is it?
My uncle.
When did it happen?
I don't know.
Well, where is he?
The library.
In this big house right here?
Yes. Oh, it's awful.
Now, you shouldn't be out here in your night clothes. It's too chilly. Come, let me take you back to the house. Come on.
Yes. Back to the house.
Did you call the police?
No, I just saw him lying there in a pool of blood. Then I came out here to get help.
Well, I'm Nick Carter, the detective. I'll be glad to help you if I can. Now, careful going up the steps. There we are. Now, if you'll show me the library.
He's in there.
Oh, yes, I see. He's dead, all right. Who found him?
The housekeeper. She came in late and saw a light still on in here. And she looked in to see if he needed anything and saw...
Then she called you?
Yes.
And you are...
I'm Ella Jarbeau, his niece. I've lived here with him for the last 5 years since my mother died.
I see. Has anything been touched since the body was found?
No. Nobody's been in here at all.
Good. Uh-huh. Shot through the head at close range. Well, it looks as if he did it himself.
No.
Well, here's the pistol that was used, right beside him. Did you hear the shot?
No. I sleep at the opposite end of the house. Oh, Mr. Carter, please find whoever killed my uncle.
What makes you think he didn't kill himself?
He wouldn't do a thing like that. I know it.
Well, that's hardly evidence, Miss Ella. Did you see this note?
Note? I know.
Your uncle apparently left it propped up here in his desk. It's addressed to Mrs. Sarah Jarbeau, 7 Dunner Street, City. You know her?
I never heard of her. What does it say?
Let's see. My dear madam, you've been a widow, in fact, ever since the hour following our marriage. But before day breaks, you will be a widow in name also, for I shall be dead. I have at last learned the truth. The one who told me right after our wedding ceremony that you were everything evil has at last confessed that you were really as good as I believed you to be. It's too late for me to ask you to forgive me for the great wrong I've done you. So I'm taking this way of making what amends I can. The upper drawer of my desk is my will, which leaves everything to you, your repentant husband, Enos Jarbeau. Well, that's a remarkable document. Did you know anything about your uncle ever having been married?
No, I never heard that before.
Well, that note would seem to prove it was suicide.
I know better. May I see that note?
Of course. Here.
I knew it, Mr. Carter. My uncle didn't kill himself, and he didn't write this note either.
Isn't that your uncle's handwriting?
It looks very much like it, but he didn't write it. Uncle didn't use this kind of pen.
What do you mean?
Uncle Enos was very proud of his handwriting, and he never used anything but a special type of old-fashioned steel pen point. It has a very fine point.
I see. Yes. This note was undoubtedly written with a stub point.
Another thing, Mr. Carter. Uncle never wrote anywhere except at his desk here. And this desk has been locked since yesterday morning, and I have the key.
How long have you had it?
I borrowed it yesterday morning because I had some letters to write, and I've had it ever since.
Is there another key to this desk?
No. Uncle would never write anywhere else.
You're quite a convincing detective, Miss Ella. And if you're right, this can't be suicide, in spite of the other evidence.
I know I'm right. Uncle would never have taken his own life.
I believe you. And I'm just curious enough about this to do a little investigating myself. If I'm as good a detective as you are, I'll find your uncle's murderer in short order.
You think this Mrs. Sarah Blake is the woman you want, Nick?
I'm not sure, Patsy. But when the maid told me that she never heard of Mrs. Sarah Jarbeau, but that Mrs. Sarah Blake lives here, I thought I'd better talk to her. She might be Mrs. Jarbeau using her maiden name.
Here she comes now.
You wish to speak to me?
I'm looking for Mrs. Sarah Jarbeau. Do you know her?
I do. I am Sarah Jarbeau.
You were right, Nick.
My name is Bill Peters. I'm a reporter. I'm writing a story on the sudden death of your husband, Enos Jarbeau.
Oh, the poor man. He died to make up to me for my years of heartbreak.
Yes, I saw the note he left. Would you please tell me what happened?
Well, I met him one summer on the coast of Maine. We were married in the fall. We took a train for Boston, and on the way he went into the smoking car to smoke a cigar. I never saw him again.
Why, that's terrible. Why didn't he come back?
I only know that when the train reached the station, a messenger gave me $500 and a note.
Oh.
It said that he had learned I was not a good woman, and that I should never see him again.
But didn't you try to clear it up?
No. If he believed it, I would never seek to persuade him otherwise. I've worked as a governess ever since.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Jarbeau. Come along, Patsy.
Goodbye, Mrs. Jarbeau. I hope you'll be happy now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
She certainly got a tough break.
You know, Patsy, I was prepared to doubt everything she told me, but somehow I'm inclined to believe her story, even if it does spoil my theory that she's part of an elaborate put-up job.
Which way are you going from here?
Well, I think I'll...
Pardon me, would you let me have a light?
Yes, of course. Here you are.
Thanks. Nice day, isn't it?
Yes, very pleasant.
Thanks. So long.
So long. Well, come along, Patsy. Wait a minute. I've met that man somewhere before. He asked me for a light just that same way. Where was it? Well, of course. It was outside Jarbeau's house last night, right after the murder.
You mean you think he...
Wait a minute, watch a minute. I want to see if he... Yes.
He's going into the house we just left.
Right. If he and Mrs. Jarbeau know each other, the chances are her story is a phony.
Oh, but Nick, she seems
I know it, Patsy, but this changes things. Patsy, I want you to find out what you can about old Enos Jarbeau's past. Find out about that marriage, if there ever was one. But first, call Scubby and tell him to get here right away.
Okay.
If that man leaves before Scubby gets here, I'll follow myself. Otherwise, Scubby can tail him. But I've got to know where he goes and what he does. Right now, he's our one positive clue.
Is it all right to talk in here, Nick?
The lobby of a big hotel is probably the safest place in the world to talk in, Scubby. Well, what'd you find out?
Well, I followed him over to a saloon over on 3rd Avenue.
Yeah?
There was a fellow waiting there for him. I tried to hear what they talked about, but all I could get was the name Jarbeau. Yeah, I heard that several times.
I thought so.
But just as I was really getting in close, a couple of plainclothes cops came along and pinched him.
Pinched him? What for?
Well, it seems he broke out of State's prison 3 days ago. I heard the cops call him Barney McCoy.
Barney McCoy.
Yeah.
Jailbird from State's prison. Pardon me, Scubby. Want to speak to the desk clerk?
Oh, sure, Nick, but what do you have to...
Oh, clerk, I'd like to speak to the governor's suite, please.
Yes, Mr. Carter. Use booth number 2 right over there, please.
Thank you.
Oh, Nick, what in the world do you want to talk to the governor for?
Just happen to remember, Scubby. He's stopping at this very hotel for a few days. I want him to do me... Hello, Mr. Secretary. Well, this is Nick Carter. I'd like to speak to the governor a moment, if I may. Thank you. Hello, Governor. This is Nick Carter. Fine, thanks. Governor, I want to go to State's prison. Oh, no, not as a visitor. I want to go as a convict.
Nick, are you nuts?
No, I mean it. If you can spare me 5 minutes, I think I can convince you. Thanks. I'll be right up. Ella, I asked you to meet me here at my office because I'm going to be out of town for a few days, and I want to have everything straight before I leave. Has anything further happened?
Nothing, Mr. Carter, except that Mrs. Jarbeau has installed herself in the house as its mistress. She's very unpleasant to me, and I know she'd like me to leave.
Well, you stay right there. Did the will leave anything to you?
No, Mr. Carter. Everything went to her. I can't understand it.
I can. That will is forged.
But the will is in Uncle's handwriting, and both the witnesses to the will have identified their signatures as genuine. And the will was found where the note said it would be.
Nevertheless, I'm convinced the will's a fake. Betsy, what did you find out?
Eunice Jarbeau and Sarah Blake were married, right enough. I found the record in a little church on the south side.
Sarah really is his wife. Forged will doesn't make sense. And neither does a suicide note, which Jarbeau didn't write.
Maybe he did kill himself after all, Mr. Carter. Maybe he just forgot about me.
I don't believe it, Ella.
I don't either. And Ella, I'm going to prove I'm right, even if I have to go to jail to do it.
Oh, you're the new man.
Yeah, Warden.
What's your name?
Max Herbert.
Where were you born?
Buffalo, New York.
How old are you?
33.
Nationality?
American.
Married?
Nope.
Crime?
Housebreaking.
Very well. The guard will take you to the photographer's and then to the laboratory.
Well, fella, you've been here 3 days. How do you like working in this shoe shop?
I don't like it. Not cut out for it.
What are you in for?
Second story job. What'd I get you for?
Cracking a safe. There's 4 of us. 2 of them got away. Me and McCoy was nailed cold.
McCoy? Hey, you wouldn't mean Barney McCoy, would you?
Yeah. Yeah, you know him?
Sure, know him well. Great guy.
Yeah, sure is. And you know his wife?
Yeah, some.
She's a darn smart woman, Addie is.
Addie?
Yeah.
Thought her name was Sarah.
No, his wife's Addie. Sarah was his sister. Yeah, they look so much alike you couldn't tell one from the other.
Yeah. Well, what became of Sarah?
I don't know. She married some rich guy for his money, but he left her flat. I don't know what happened after that. Addie's still in town waiting for Mac to get out.
Yeah, he did break out a few days ago. We just caught him and brought him back here.
Yeah. They got him on the rock pile for trying to escape.
Hey, cut out that talking, you guys. Get back to work.
Okay.
So Barney McCoy's on the rock pile now. I rather think I'd like to be transferred to the rock pile myself. Hey, Barney.
Yeah?
Look, you've known me now for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. So what?
You know I wouldn't give you a bum steer, don't you?
What are you leading up to, Max?
I'm working on a way to get out of here. Before I come up here, I heard you on the level. I'd like to let you in on it.
Where did you ever hear of me outside this place?
A big town. A girl named Sarah told me about you.
What?
You married her sister, Addie.
You know Sarah?
Sure. About 5-6 years ago. Haven't seen her since, though.
Sarah's in Europe now.
Yeah.
When are you planning on getting out of here?
As soon as I get the necessary people lined up.
If I had some dough, we could get out of here tomorrow.
How much do you need?
About 200 to start with.
Okay. I'll have it for you tomorrow.
Okay, Max. You get that stuff and we'll be out of here in 2 days.
All right, you get 5 minutes to talk.
Hey, Nick, why don't you...
Scubby, hold it. I'm Max Herbert in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have remembered. How in the world did you ever get in this place?
Well, the governor fixed it so that I was caught red-handed robbing the home of a friend of his. Yeah. When they caught me, I had the family silver in one hand and the family jewels in the other. It was easy. And now I arranged to be transferred to the gang where McCoy's working.
Well, have you found anything?
Yes, but it's all circumstantial. But Barney McCoy and I are breaking out of here day after tomorrow. And I'm hoping to get some proof then.
Are you sure you're getting out of here?
Yes. One of the keepers is working with us.
Oh.
I think this same keeper fixed McCoy's getaway last time. And I also think, from what I've heard, that he may have helped in Jarbeau's murder.
Yeah?
I've learned positively that he was absent from the prison on leave that day.
But isn't there danger if you're getting hurt if you try to break out of here?
Of course there is. I have to take that chance. I've got to stick to McCoy. Don't worry, Scubby. I'll be all right. I hope. We all set, McCoy?
All set. Everything's fixed.
Good.
You see that delivery truck over there, Max?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to break down when it tries to start.
I get it.
We'll have to help it get out of the yard here.
Right.
Listen. He's trying to start it now.
The guard all set?
Sure. Mike's with us all the way, same as before.
Hey, you over there.
That's us. Come on.
Gab and give us a hand with this truck.
Okay. What's the matter?
Motor won't start. Have to give him a push. You two get a hold here and give him a start.
Okay, Mike.
Rest of you guys get back to work.
All right, get your shoulder behind it, Max.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Heave. All right, again. Heave.
Once more.
Oh, come on, get it going. We ain't got all day. Heave.
As soon as the motor starts, jump on the truck.
Right, I got you. Okay, again. There.
Come on, Max.
I'm in. Get down so they can't see you.
Look, bridge over the railroad tracks is just ahead. When we get over the tracks, be ready to jump.
Be right with you.
All right, now, come on.
Right behind you, Barney.
Jump on the tender of that engine below us.
Now, okay.
You all right, McCoy?
Yeah. Come on, engineer. Give her all the steam you got. Don't stop the talk. You, fireman, feed the coal to her. I don't want to use this gun unless I have to. Watch out, Max. The outside wall of the prison is just ahead. You'd better duck. There's going to be shooting.
Right, McCoy. All okay so far?
Oh, here it comes. Watch it.
Look at him pour it out.
Well, we're out of jail now. And for good.
It's good to see you back in your office again, Mr. Carter.
Yes, it's good to be back here, Ella. Now tell me, have you learned anything interesting since I last saw you?
I think so, Mr. Carter.
Now, let's have it.
A few months ago, our housekeeper spent about a month visiting her son in California. Before she went, she put an ad in the paper for a temporary housekeeper. Several women answered the ad, and Mrs. Martin was given the job. She had light brown hair and wore dark glasses. I disliked her on sight, and I'm sure she disliked me. When our housekeeper returned, this Mrs. Martin left, and I never saw her again until the day my uncle was buried.
What do you mean, Ella?
On that day, she presented herself as my uncle's widow.
Your uncle's widow?
Yes, Mr. Carter. When she first came to live in the house after the funeral, I thought there was something very familiar about her. But not until a few days ago did I suddenly realize that Mrs. Jarbeau was Mrs. Martin, with black hair instead of brown and without her dark glasses.
Ella, could you swear to that?
No, but some of her little mannerisms, certain tricks of speech, a funny way of walking, all make me positive.
And that explains the mystery of how the fake will was forged. While Mrs. Martin was substituting for the housekeeper, she could have found out about the will, taken it out, had a new one forged, and then returned it. The night your uncle was murdered, the forged will was substituted for the original one in the desk drawer by using a duplicate key that had been prepared in advance.
And it might interest you, Nick, to know that when Ella told me this the other day, I checked at the house where we first met Mrs. Jarbeau. The woman there told me that Mrs. Jarbeau was away on a visit during the month that Mrs. Martin took the place of Ella's housekeeper.
Good work. That settles it, Betsy.
Just a minute, Mr. Carter. There's another thing you better know.
Something else?
Yes, Mr. Carter. Last evening, a strange man came to the house. He and Mrs. Jarbeau were apparently old friends because she called him Mac.
Barney McCoy.
She took him up to her room where I heard them talking for a long time. I tried to hear what they were saying but couldn't get close enough. But I did hear him say it was time to get that girl out of the way for good. And then Mrs. Jarbeau said that now that Mac was back, it was time to wind up the job.
Well, Ella, if everything goes as I hope it will, we'll be the ones to wind up the job, not Mrs. Jarbeau.
Anything else you want me to do?
Yes. Meet me in the rear of your home tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. We'll make our final arrangements then. In the meantime, sit tight and keep your ears and eyes open.
Mr. Carter? Mr. Carter?
That you, Ella?
Yes. Come into the living room here. We can talk better.
Okay. Sure there's no one around?
Not now. That man Mac was here earlier, but he left quite a while ago. Mrs. Jarbeau has gone up to her room. We can talk safely here.
All right. Don't turn on the light. It may be seen. We can talk just as well in the dark.
Whatever you say.
Now tell me, does Mrs. Jarbeau know you've ever seen this man, Mac?
Oh, no. I've kept out of the way whenever he's been around.
Good. Do you know what he came here for this evening?
There was talk about chloroform and poison. And then she told him the lawyer for the estate was here this afternoon and said that she would be in full legal possession of the estate in another few days.
I see.
And then he said that if that was the case, it was the time to act before it was too late.
Well, it's time for us to act, too. I think we'd better... Quiet.
Somebody's unlocking the door through which we came.
Maybe they won't come in here.
Who's in this room? I can't see you in the dark, but I know you're there. Who's there?
Who are you?
None of your business. Speak up or I'll shoot.
If you do, you'll never live to see another day.
What's going on in here? Why isn't the light on?
Mrs. Jarbeau.
Ella, what are you
Barney
doing
McCoy,
here?
you.
Max Herbert, by all that's holy. What are you doing here?
Why, well, you see, Barney,
Yeah?
He's here because he loves me.
Don't you know this man is an ex-convict? You ought to be serving a sentence in state's prison right now.
Yes, I know that.
Well, that's why we had to meet like this, Barney.
Is this true, Ella?
Yes, Mrs. Jarbeau, it is.
Look here, you. You interviewed me a couple of weeks ago, said you were writing a story for your paper. You said then your name was Peters. Now you say it's Herbert.
Well, my real name is Herbert Peters, ma'am. You see,
And you? What are you doing here?
I'm a night watchman on duty in this neighborhood. I saw this man come in here and followed him. Recognized him as a suspicious character.
You're both lying. Get out of here, both of you, immediately. And as for you, Ella, get upstairs at once. I'll deal with you later.
Yeah, that's all the thanks I get for trying to protect your place against thieves. I will get out. Come on, you.
Go ahead, Barney. I'm coming. Good night, Ella, dear.
And see that you never come back. Either of you.
Hey, Max.
Yeah?
Was that story about you and the girl straight?
Why, sure, Barney. Wasn't your story on the level?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was going to see if I could find a few things I could swipe. I'm flat broke. You haven't got a few bucks on you, have you?
Sure, Barney. I can let you have a 10 spot.
What?
Here.
Gee, thanks, pal. I won't forget you for this.
Forget it. Yeah, we sure were lucky to get out of there so easy.
Yeah. I thought the old dame was going to have us pinched.
You're under arrest, both of you, so don't try and have it right. There you go. Let go of me. Stop or I'll shoot. No, you don't. You let go of my arm. You made me miss him.
So what?
Yep. Well, I got you anyway. You won't get away. You're going back to state's prison again, Mr. Max Herbert.
Oh, you know my name, do you?
I sure do.
And I know yours, Ben Lyons.
But, what? You know me? Hey, let me look at you.
Gladly. Come over under the streetlight.
All right.
You know me now?
Well, Nick Carter. Well, I'll be... Well, gosh, I'm sorry, Mr. Carter, but a woman just called the station, said she'd passed 2 escaped convicts in front of her house, and if we hurried, we could pick them up. Even give us their names, too,
Well,
so
never mind
I...
that now, Ben. Listen to me. I'm on the trail of something big. Have the lieutenant and 8 men meet me at 12 o'clock tomorrow night at the back of the Jarbeau place across the street where they won't be seen.
Okay.
Be sure to tell them not to fail me, because I expect to capture the murderers of Enos Jarbeau. Are all the men posted as we agreed, Scubby?
Yes, Nick. Outside and inside the house.
Good.
They have orders to let anybody come up here, but to let nobody go downstairs again.
Then we're ready for the finale in this case.
What's that you've got there, Nick?
It's a new type of microphone, Patsy.
Oh.
I've attached it to the wall between this room and Mrs. Jarbeau's room.
Mm-hmm.
Through the vibration of the wall, it'll pick up whatever is said in her room. Then whatever is picked up is amplified so that it's loud enough for us to hear it. The amplifier also has a recording device which makes a permanent record of the conversation on a wire tape.
Gosh, what will they think of next?
Quiet now. Let's listen. I'll turn it on.
But I tell you, Barney, we can't lose. In a few more days, the whole Jarbeau estate will be mine, legally.
I know, Addie, but can you handle that girl for a few days more?
That's
well, if
McCoy.
I can't, we'll give her what we gave the old man.
Do we have to?
If she's dead, we know she ain't gonna bother us.
Yeah.
So we bet...
Hey, what the devil's that?
Quiet. How do I know? The housekeeper's answering it.
Hey, somebody's coming up here.
Did you tell anybody you were sleeping?
Anybody here?
Mike! What are you doing here?
Well, that's a fine question to ask me. I'm here because you sent for me.
Who sent for you?
You did, McCoy.
Are you crazy? I did nothing of the kind.
I got your note this morning. Here it is.
What?
Come to Jarbeau House tonight, but not before 12. Everything okay. Very important. And it's signed Barney.
Listen, I never wrote that note.
Well, if you didn't, it means trouble for us. Somebody else knows about this business besides us 3.
You mean we're caught?
We ain't caught yet, but we will be if we don't watch our step. Even now...
I was afraid of this. I knew I should have kept out of it.
Ah, shut up, you rat. You're not in jail yet.
But I'm going to be. I can feel it coming.
Don't shut up, Mike. I'll brain you.
You did it, McCoy. You fired the shot that killed the old man. I just...
Shut up, you stupid
liar!
Come on, kids. That's enough of that. Let's go.
Right with you, Nick.
I'll take it easy, Sarah. Wait a minute, will you?
I can't wait any longer.
Get your hands up, both of you. And no funny business.
Max, what are you...
No, McCoy, not Max. Nick Carter.
Nick Carter? You ain't got nothing on us.
Oh, Nick's got enough on you 3 to send you to the chair.
Yes, McCoy, we know the whole plot from beginning to end.
Tell him what we found out, Nick.
What do you mean?
It means I know that Sarah married Jarbeau, and that shortly afterwards she died. You, Addie, her sister, married McCoy. When Sarah died, you found her marriage certificate and decided to use your resemblance to her to get the old man's money. McCoy was in prison then, but you arranged with the guard Mike here to help McCoy escape when the time was ripe. Then to pay Mike for his trouble, you cut him in the deal. Then you, Addie, got that temporary job here as a housekeeper, which was an unexpected break. While you were here, you had the fake will made. Then when all was ready, McCoy escaped as planned. Mike came with him, and between the 3 of you, you chloroformed old Jarbeau, and then shot him in such a way that it looked like suicide.
How do you know it wasn't suicide?
The suicide note you left for the old man. Whoever Addie got to forge that will for her did such an expert job that the witnesses recognized their own forged signatures as genuine. But whoever wrote that suicide note was so clumsy that he wrote it with a blunt-pointed fountain pen instead of the sharp-pointed steel pen that was the only pen Jarbeau ever used.
That ain't proof. That's guessing.
We've got plenty of proof, McCoy. And if that isn't enough, to top it all off, the conversation in this room between you 3 crooks has been recorded in full for the past 20 minutes. And if that isn't practically a confession and good legal evidence in any court, my name isn't Nick Carter.
This was another strange experience of Nick Carter, Master Detective, called State's Prison Evidence, or Nick Carter and the Mystery of the Midnight Murder. Another of the curious adventures of Nick Carter, which are brought to you regularly at the same time each week by WOR Mutual. And now, Nick, what about our story for next week?
Well, next week's story started off as a simple question of who stole the firm's funds.
But it ended up by being the very perplexing question of who killed 2 men and caused the death of a 3rd.
And not the least puzzling part of the case was to find out who fired the fatal bullet which started off the murders.
Isn't that usually the most puzzling part of a murder story?
Well, yes, it is. But in this case, the man who was killed was standing by my side in the corridor of a large office building. And there was no one around at the time who could have fired the gun that killed him.
I'm afraid I'm getting more mixed up all the time.
That's exactly how we felt about it. But Nick cleared it all up in spite of everything.
And we'll tell you all about it next week. So long.
So long, folks.
And so long to you, Nick and Patsy. See you next week. In the strange adventure you've just heard, Nick Carter was impersonated by Lon Clark, Patsy by Helen Choate, and Scubby by John Kane. Original music was played by Lew White. The entire production was written and directed by Jock McGregor. Next week at the same time, another curious experience of Nick Carter entitled
An Angle on Murder, or Nick Carter and the Mystery of the Mutilated Bullet.
This story is a copyrighted feature of Street and Smith Publications, Incorporated. The Return of Nick Carter is produced in the studios of WOR and is broadcast over most of these stations every Monday evening at 9:30 Eastern Wartime. This is Mutual.
One of old-time radio's longest-running and most popular programs, CBS Mystery Theater, is up next.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome once again to another adventurous journey across the mysterious and terror-filled terrain of the human imagination. The moving finger, the poet said, writes, and having writ, moves on. Not all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. Well, we seek no quarrel with the great Omar, but the fact is that anything written can be rewritten, even erased. It's all merely a matter of knowing the right people.
What do you need the money for?
To bet with.
It's immoral.
It's a way to make a fortune.
Besides, you can lose.
Oh, not me.
I've heard people say that before, on the way to the poorhouse.
Jerry, listen. I know who's going to win the World Series. I know who's going to be elected president next year. I know what stocks are going up.
You're crazy.
Just let me have the money, Jerry. I'll double it, quadruple it. There's no limit to what we can win. I know everything that will happen in the next 21 years. We can be the richest people in the world, Jerry. We can own the world.
Our mystery drama, Yesterday's Murder, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Mercedes McCambridge. It is sponsored in part by Contac, the 12-hour cold capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. Admittedly, this is not the best of all possible worlds, but it's the only world we have at this point. And so there are times when we despair of the inequity and unfairness of so many things. But we should remember, there is justice. Even though it may not always look that way, there is justice. And justice moves at its own pace, manifests itself in its own way. A way that is sometimes as obvious and dramatic as a bolt of lightning. sometimes as silent, as unobtrusive as the fall of a leaf. But either way, justice will have been done, finally, irrevocably, and for all eternity. But let us begin our story, or rather continue, for who knows when any story really begins. At Ramelletti's, which is, as you know, a very chic, very exclusive watering place for the very wealthy.
May I get you something, madam?
Well, I'm expecting someone, so I'll just order a small... Why, it's Dottie. Dottie Malloy.
Hello, Jane.
Dottie, it can't be you.
Why not?
Well, because you look so old. Oh, I didn't mean that.
I suppose I do look old.
But you're just a year older than I am. You can't even be 40 yet.
I'm 2 years younger than you are, Jane. And I was just 43 last week. I didn't recognize you at first.
Have I changed that much in 20 years?
No, I was just so busy looking at the necklace and the earrings and the rings.
The diamonds are all genuine. But if you got them, wear them.
Well, to answer your question, you haven't changed. You look exactly the same. Same as you did when we were both working at Waterfield and Prentice. Actually, you look better.
I don't suppose. That is, I guess you're not allowed to sit down and talk to me.
No, I'm very happy for you, Jane.
Well, that's another thing. I can't say that I'm happy for you. How's
Harold?
Oh, yes, Harold.
He's fine.
Still as handsome as ever?
Handsomer.
What's he doing now?
Oh, you know what he's doing.
Yeah, I suppose I do. Still selling men's suits at Westing's.
No, not at Westing's, but at a place just like it. That's all he ever wanted to do. Is to wear smart clothes.
I want to apologize to you, Dottie.
What for?
Oh, for the way I hated you. For taking Harold away from me.
I couldn't take what you didn't have.
I know. Actually, you did me a favor.
Yes, I can see that I did.
I would have been stuck with Harold just as
I am.
Well, this way I made 3 fantastic marriages, each one wealthier than the last.
I'm glad for you.
Oh, Dottie, I want to cry.
Why?
Because I look at you and I remember how you used to be, how you sparkled.
Well, that's life.
No, it's not life. It's money. Or I should say not having money. Dottie, let me do something for you.
What?
Well, now, just don't take what I'm about to say the wrong way, Dottie. Let me give you some money.
No, Jane. Money can't help me.
Now, don't say...
Nothing can help me. That's the only way to put it. And I'm serious, Jane. The only thing I can say is that I'm under a curse.
Dottie, that's...
It's true. And I deserve it. So, what's your order?
Dottie? Is there any point in my saying that we should get together soon?
No. No, Jane, you know as well as I do, there is no point in your saying it.
Hey, you're late.
Yeah, I had to work dinner.
Oh, that's okay. I made myself a sandwich. You eat?
I'm not hungry.
Well, should you be...
No, maybe later.
Did anybody interesting come into the place today?
No, nobody.
I kind of wish I worked in a place where you could meet celebrities.
You don't meet them, Harold. You just wait on them.
Well, it sure give you something to talk about, wouldn't it? Hey, I'm glad I had a chance to see you before I left.
So where are you going?
Where am I? You haven't changed a single little bit in 20 years. You're still the greatest little kidder in the whole wide world.
I forgot. It's Tuesday night.
Yes, indeedy, Dottie. It's Tuesday night. And old handsome Harold goes bowling for 17 years, man and boy, through rain and sleet and snow and hail.
Yeah, well, I think I'll go lie down.
Well, sure, honey. Why don't you do that? You look tired. And good night, honey.
Don't be too late.
You always say that.
Good night.
I'll see you.
Huh? What? Oh, now what did he do? Forget his key? Look at me. I must have fallen asleep on the couch. All right. I'm coming. Honestly, Harold, the least you could do is take... Oh.
Good evening. Did I waken you?
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Carpenter. And you are Mrs. Malloy.
Yes. What do you want, Mr. Carpenter?
I should say, what do you want, Mrs. Malloy?
Well, you're the one who rang my bell.
Yes, because you sent for me.
I sent for you.
I'm from Opportunity Incorporated.
Opportunity Incorporated?
Why don't I come in? Thank you. I have a copy of your letter here.
My letter?
You don't recognize it?
Oh. You're the people who had that ad in the paper.
Precisely, Mrs. Malloy.
Well, what are you selling?
Nothing.
Well, let me put it this way. What will whatever you have to give away cost me?
Nothing.
Well, how do you stay in business? Whatever your business is.
We're a non-profit organization.
Well, then I don't understand.
A copy of our ad. See? Would you like an opportunity to change the course of your life? If so, write Opportunity Unlimited. You wrote, I'm here.
You know what it's about? What's it about? A job? Or a chance to go into a new business? I mean,
what do you want it to be?
Well, it's too late to change the course of my life.
It's never too late.
Well, you don't understand.
I think I do.
You see, something happened a long time ago.
21 years ago, to be exact.
Yes, that's right, and I...
And you think you're still being punished for it?
Wait a minute. How do you know...
I know everything.
What do you mean, everything? Who are you?
I told you. Mr. Carpenter, from Opportunity Unlimited. Now, on a certain evening, 21 years ago...
What? Wait. Which evening?
You know the evening. How can you ever forget it? You dream about it every night. You relive it in every nightmare.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you do.
How would I be able to remember some evening?
Let me refresh your memory. You were working for a brokerage house called Waterfield and Prentice. It was 9 o'clock at night. The entire building was empty, deserted, except for you. What were you doing there at 9 o'clock at night? What were you doing in Mr. Waterfield's private office? What were you doing taking money out of Mr. Waterfield's safe? Suddenly you turn ashy white with fear. You hear a door open, and it's old Jerry, the night watchman. And he asks you the very same question.
What are you doing at that safe, Dottie?
Oh, Jerry. Oh, you scared me. Well, you see, Mr. Waterfield called me. And he asked could I come down here and take this money out of the safe. And,
No, Dottie. It ain't so. He didn't ask you nothing of the sort.
Oh, but I tell you, he...
Besides, you ain't supposed to know the combination. How'd you find the combination, Dottie?
Jerry, listen.
I know you were tempted, and I can understand that, Dottie.
I need this money. It's not just for me. It's to help somebody. Jerry, I'm not supposed to know the combination. Nobody could ever trace this to me.
Well, I guess not.
And it's only $20,000. What's $20,000 to old man Waterfield? He can afford to lose it. Look, Jerry, I'll give you some of it. $5,000.
No, Dottie.
I'm taking this money. You can't stop me.
I'll have to report you, Dottie.
I'll deny it. It's your word against mine. Enough people around here think you're getting senile anyhow. Now, Jerry, get out of my way.
I'll have to stop you, Dottie. It's my duty.
You're an old man, and I don't want to hurt you. Now, let go of me.
Put the money back.
Get your hands off me.
Put it back, Dottie, please. Dottie, put it.
Jerry, I didn't touch you.
It's my heart. I have pills in my shirt pocket. Give me a...
Jerry, don't. Jerry, please don't die. I'll put the money back, but please, Jerry. Oh.
But he did die. And you didn't put the money back.
What do you want? Did you come here to blackmail me?
Tell me, were you sincere? Would you really put the money back if you had another chance?
Yes. It would have saved Jerry's life if I'd done it when he asked me.
That's why I am here. To give you that opportunity to put the money back.
Put the money back? That money's been gone for years, $20,000. And I never had so much as a penny's worth of enjoyment out of it.
How would you like the chance to put the money back?
How can I put it back? I don't have it.
Would you like to have the chance to put it back while he was still asking you to do it?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
There can't be very much doubt about what he's saying. He's certainly saying it clearly enough. But can it be done? Even so, you certainly have to admit it isn't the kind of offer you get every day. Should she take him up on it? Would you? I shall return shortly with Act 2. They say you can't go back again. Once you leave a certain time and a certain place, it's gone forever. On the face of it, it sounds like an extremely sound rule. However, as everyone knows, every rule has its exceptions. And this is what a Mr. Carpenter seems to be discussing with Dottie Malloy.
What I'm saying, Mrs. Malloy, and I thought I was saying it clearly, is would you like to have the chance to put the money back when old Jerry asked you to?
But that's impossible.
I didn't ask you if it was possible. I asked you if you would like to have the chance to do it.
I know, I'm not asleep. I'm not dreaming all this.
No, you're wide awake. Well, your answer?
$20,000. That was a fortune. A fortune. I thought it would change my whole life.
And it did.
It made me an old woman long before my time.
I know.
I had to hide that money. I had to lie about every nickel of it. When Harold needed $5,000 to go into business, I made up a story of an aunt who died and left me them. But what's the difference? He went bankrupt anyhow. I bought stocks that dropped out of sight. I bet on horses. Some of them never even finished.
That's right.
It was as if there was a curse on that money. Well, you seem to know everything. Was there?
Well, let's say you should never have taken it.
Would my life have been different?
Yes.
Tell me how.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Without that murder on your conscience.
Don't call it murder. It was...
What was it? You would have looked at things differently, had a different attitude. Unless, of course...
Unless what?
Unless you happen to be a thief in your heart, in which case, one way or another, you'd wind up just about the way you are now. A failure filled with remorse.
I'm not a thief. I wasn't... I never stole anything in my life until...
Well, you probably never had the opportunity.
Don't say that.
I have to say that because there's no point in giving you a chance to make amends if in the end you do the same thing all over again.
Do you think I'd... Oh, Lord. To get one night's sleep. To lose the sight of that old man's face, I would give my soul.
You don't have to give anything.
Money. Once I thought it was everything. Oh, look what it did to me. I hate it. I don't want it. Please, give me that chance. Give me that chance. Oh, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I must be crazy. Somehow, a stranger comes into my house. And somehow he found out a secret about me. And for some reason which I can't understand, he chooses to amuse himself.
I admit this is shocking to you. But there's one way to prove that I'm serious and you're not crazy. Go back.
Go back? 21 years?
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid to be young again? Afraid to have another chance, another lifetime?
How would a thing like this work?
It's very simple. You agree to go back for the express purpose of rectifying an unfortunate action that you committed under stress. You are given an opportunity to do it.
And then, do I come back here to the present?
That's difficult to say. You're going back there. Here won't happen for another 21 years. So, where here is going to be will depend on the new life you'd make for yourself.
Well, what have I got to lose? My wonderful job, this beautiful apartment, my intelligent husband. I'm ready.
A word of caution. If you don't put that money back...
Oh, how can you even bring that up? That's what I'm going back there for, isn't it?
Well, I would just like to warn...
You don't have to warn me about anything. You just sold me. Now, how do we do it? Oh, listen to me. I must be crazy. I really believe what you're saying.
Now that you understand, come with me.
Where?
For a walk.
At this hour?
When we get downstairs, it won't be this hour.
But I'm not dressed to go walking.
You're not dressed for 21 years ago either. But don't worry. It will all adjust itself. Come.
But
Well?
Harold, he'll come back. He'll worry.
No, he won't. Once you walk out of here, this place no longer exists.
I'm scared.
That's perfectly natural. Don't be afraid. Come. Here, hold my hand. Now come with me. Come. We'll walk downstairs and into the street. Come.
It's day. It's daylight. How did it get to be daylight? It was just 9:30 at night. How did it get to be... Oh!
Now, don't be alarmed. Please.
But look at the cars. Look at them. Those cars are 20 years old. All those cars.
They're brand new.
And they're Snyder's. That's Snyder's coffee shop across the street. We used to go there for lunch. All of us from the office. But they tore it down 10 years ago. They built a new...
You've gone back, Dottie. Don't you understand? You're not Dottie Malloy. You're still Dottie Sandy.
And look at my dress. And these shoes. I threw these out long ago. No, I didn't. I remember...
You wanted to go back, Dottie. You're back.
Yeah, I feel so...
Young?
Yes, that's it. I feel young. But tell me, why do I remember everything that takes place for the next 21 years? Why do I know that?
Because you're not all the way back yet. Until that money is returned to the safe, your new life hasn't really begun.
Well, then let me go and return it. What are we waiting for?
It's only 9:30 in the morning. You have to wait till 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh. Well, what am I going to do until then?
Go through the day, just as you did last time.
No, I'd like to change some of the things I did last time.
You can only change one of them. The thing you did 9 o'clock at night. Say, we can't stand around here all day. You're late for work, and you know what a bear old Mr. Waterfield is. Well, goodbye, Dottie.
Goodbye?
Yes, goodbye.
But when will I see you again, Mr. Carpenter?
Never.
Never?
Never. Unless, of course, you don't live up to our bargain.
Then I guess this is goodbye.
Goodbye, Dottie. And good luck.
Dottie.
Hi, Jane.
You're 40 minutes late.
I know.
Old Waterfield is having a 14-carat fit. Honestly, he's given me such a headache. Oh, there he goes again.
I'll get it. Yes, Mr. Waterfield.
Well, where have you been?
I just got back, Mr. Waterfield.
From where? Oh, never mind. Come in here.
I'm so glad you're here, Dottie. He makes me ill.
Well, why don't you go lie down?
All right.
And if you don't feel any better, go on home.
Oh, but Harold's taking me to dinner tonight.
No. No, he isn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he isn't. If you don't feel well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I have to quit this job. That Mr. Waterfield, he makes me so nervous. I just wish Harold would ask me to marry him.
Just a minute. Now repeat that combination slowly. 12 left, 12 right, and a round to 0 twice. Yeah, I got it. Why do they always have to change the damn things? You no sooner remember one combination than Miss Sanders, Dottie.
I'm right here, sir.
Oh.
I was just coming in the door.
Now make a note. I want Kelly to pick up 5,000 shares of International Motors at the market.
International Motors?
That's what I said.
But wasn't there a big scandal?
Scandal? What scandal?
Yes, they went bankrupt. And the president, Abner Stilson, went to jail.
Miss Sanders, have you taken leave of your senses?
Excuse me, sir. What year is this?
Well, now I know there's something wrong.
Oh, that's right. It hasn't happened yet. And it won't for about it. I'm sorry, sir.
Dottie, I have enough problems with that flighty one outside, that Jane. Now, don't you go haywire on me, too.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now, I want Peters to buy 2,000 shares of Midwest Steel. That is, if you approve.
Midwest Steel? Sir, that's a...
That's a what?
That's a sleeper. That'll go to...
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. I'm just feeling... Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of wild this morning.
Well, maybe you better see a doctor.
No, sir, I'm all right. I'm just very happy.
About what?
Oh, about everything.
Hi, Dottie.
Oh, hi, Harold. Jane isn't here.
I know.
She just wasn't feeling well, so she went home.
I know. I didn't come to see Jane.
Oh?
I came to see you.
Me?
How about lunch?
Oh, now look, Harold.
You have to eat, don't you? And I have to eat, and I happen to be in the neighborhood.
When Jane happens to be my best friend.
I like her, too.
I don't do things that way.
Tell you what, I'll really splurge. I'll take you to Ramoletti's.
I'm sorry, Harold.
What time do you go out?
12:45.
Meet you downstairs.
Yeah, I think I'll have the...
Now, don't go looking for the cheapest thing on the menu.
Boy, even the cheapest thing is practically out of sight.
Dottie, you know what bothers me?
What?
That you're impressed by a place like this.
Well, it's very expensive.
It's only money, and it's all you need to eat here. Actually, it's all you need to go anywhere. Do anything. Money.
Well, I never had any money.
I never did either, but I'm going to. I'm not going to be a salesman all my life. I intend to own a place.
Oh, sure.
Well, there are plenty of good locations, and I know how to sell.
Yeah, you do have a wonderful personality, Harold.
No reason why I shouldn't be on my own. Well, there is a reason.
What's that?
Well, you can even sing it. Do, re, mi. Yes, indeed, Dottie. The good old cabbage leaves.
Yeah. And that's a shame.
Yeah, all it takes is a few thousand, 5, 6 maybe, to get set up. Well, let's enjoy the here and now. Why don't you try the rack of lamb?
Where is it? Oh, Harold, that costs $12.
It's delicious. I'm going to have it.
Yeah, but 12 for you and 12 for me, that's... Just for lunch, it adds up to...
It adds up to 0, Dottie. 12 and 12 are 0.
What? What did you say?
Nothing.
No, what did you say? About 12 and 12.
I said 12 and 12 add up to 0.
12 left, 12 right, and around to 0 twice.
What are you saying, Dottie?
What am I saying? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. But I think I will have the rack of lamb after all.
Great. Did you ever have it before?
Sure. Once.
Where?
Here.
Here? I thought you said you never ate here.
Well, I did. And I didn't.
You say the craziest things.
I know.
I think that's why I've fallen in love with you. How was the rack of lamb?
It's not so hot.
Well, in that case, let's not have it.
No. We must.
What are you saying?
I'm saying we can't change anything. Just yet.
So far, it's all on schedule. The day runs its course, just as it did 21 years ago. Dottie was late to work. She overheard the boss muttering the combination of the office safe. She stole her best friend's boyfriend. Stole may be a harsh word, but here we deal in realities. Realities so real that they can be considered fantastic. We'll find out how she handles the rest of the day when I return shortly with Act 3. Sometimes you get a chance to do it all over again. Sometimes. And you know exactly how to handle the situation this time. There's absolutely no way to commit that fatal blunder. Because this time, you are forewarned, forearmed. You have foresight. How could you possibly do it wrong?
Oh. Hello, Harold?
No, it isn't Harold.
Mr. Carpenter. Well, Harold was supposed to call me. He did last time.
And he will again.
And will I go to dinner with him?
Yes.
And do I have to go through that situation with Jane again?
You know you do. And then you must come back here to...
Oh, yes, I know. And I will.
The only reason I called was to wish you luck.
Oh, I don't need any luck.
Remind you of what it is you have to do.
And I have every intention of doing it.
I'd better hang up, because even now Harold is dialing your number to ask you to dinner. Goodbye, Dottie.
Why, from Ramoletti's to Snyder's, all in one day.
I have to admit the food's much cheaper here.
Yeah, well, I think it's better.
No, I have to improve your taste.
Harold, what were you saying about going into business?
Was I saying anything about...
Yeah, at lunch.
Oh, I always talk that way. It's just talk. Where could I ever get the kind of money it takes to...
Well, you could save it.
I don't make enough.
Well, still, you could put it aside.
Oh, sure, but you have to be the saving kind, and that's just not me.
Yeah, but if you did have the money, well, just suppose...
You mean, like, just suppose the moon is made out of green cheese?
No, suppose.
If I had it? Oh, that'd be a brand new ball game. I'd open my own store. I'd know what styles to buy. I know how to handle my customers. Oh, Dottie, I could make a fortune.
I believe you would.
Well, look, I don't do too badly now. I'm still the best salesman old man Westing has. I make enough to...
To what?
Well, listen to me. I have no trouble selling a suit of clothes, but I have all kinds of trouble selling myself.
Well, don't oversell, Harold.
Huh?
I mean, you just about closed the deal.
Dottie.
No, don't. Don't kiss me, Harold, please.
But don't you realize what you just said?
Yeah, I know. But first, I have to talk to Jane.
Jane? Why?
Well, because she...
Dottie, I just dated Jane now and then. I never gave her any reason to think that there was...
I'm sure you didn't, but she seems to think so, and that's the same thing.
But look...
No. I really feel I owe her an explanation.
I thought you were my friend.
Jane.
Yeah, I see it all now.
Jane, there isn't anything to see except the truth. We just happened to fall in love with each other.
Oh, take him. Take him in good riddance. He's just a phony. Big, good-looking, but not a brain in his head. You'll never get anywhere, you'll never be anybody, and you'll never have anything. You'll wind up supporting him.
Oh, no, Jane. It's for the best. I know it's for the best. You don't see it now, but you will Later.
I never want to see you again. Now, don't stand there. Get out.
All right, Jane. All right.
Daddy. Daddy. Please. For your own sake. Give him back to me. Daddy, look at you. So pretty and so smart. You could do so much better than Harold. Don't let him ruin your life.
Me?
What does it matter?
I know. I'm just plain Jane.
He's good enough for me, but he's not good enough for you.
I know.
You know? Well, then why?
I can't help it, Jane. I can't help it.
Did you tell her?
Yes, I told her.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's nobody's fault.
Well, look, it's still early enough. How about a movie?
Harold, could you really make a go of it?
Make a go of what?
Your own business?
Well, sure, but that's just a wild dream.
Well, the wildest dreams can come true.
We're so serious tonight. Let's see a funny movie.
Harold, could you make a go of your own business? I have to know.
Well, the answer is sure. I could make $1 million. All I need is the chance. Now, how about that movie?
No. I want to go home. I have a headache.
Sure you just want to go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's been such a great day. I hate to see it end.
Well, I guess I'm just overexcited. After all, a girl doesn't get a proposal every day.
Why don't I come by for you in the morning? We'll have breakfast and lunch and dinner. And maybe in between we can get married.
And very soon I want my family to come in from the West Coast.
I'll be by bright and early in the a.m. Are you happy?
Yes. Yes.
You're beautiful, Dottie. See you, Angel.
Taxi! Taxi! Would you take me to the Waterfield Prentice Building, 12th and Main? Right. 12 left. And around to 0. Twice. And I'm right. It opens.
What are you doing at the safe, Dottie?
Jerry? Oh, Jerry, you scared me. Well, you see, Mr. Waterfield called and asked me if I could take this money to...
Now, that ain't so, Dottie. He didn't ask you nothing of the sort.
But I tell you, he did.
Besides, you ain't supposed to know the combination. How'd you happen to learn the combination?
Well, I...
Well, what's the difference? You were tempted. I can understand that, Dottie.
Jerry, I need this money. It's not just for me. It's to help somebody. And it's only $20,000. What does $20,000 mean to old man Waterfield? Listen to me, Jerry. I'll give you some of it. Here, take $5,000.
No, Dottie. No.
Why don't we split it?
Put the money back. Lock the safe. And we'll both forget about tonight.
No. I'm taking this money.
Put it back, Dottie.
Well, of course, I'll put it back.
Now you're talking sense.
After all, that's what I came back here for.
You'll be happier in the long run. That's the kind of money that never brings anything good. This way, you'll always have your peace of mind.
Sure.
You're being smart, Dottie.
Jerry, listen to me. I'm not really going to take this money.
No?
No. I'm just going to borrow it. And you're right, I was a stupid, immature kid that last time. But not this time, Jerry. This time. Do you know what I know?
Now listen, Dottie.
This time I know all the stocks that are going to go up. All the horses that are going to win. Listen, this year, the Sox are going to win the pennant.
Now I know you're crazy.
The Sox are going to come from nowhere to win it 100 to 1.
Dottie, you're out of your mind.
And Sweet Reward is going to win the Derby. And there's a stock, Midwest Steel. If you get in on it right now... Jerry, I know so many things.
Dottie, just put the money back.
Yeah, I will, Jerry, I will.
Right
No, not right now. Tomorrow. I just want to borrow it for one day.
Please, Dottie, I don't want you to get into trouble.
I need the cash just for a few hours. Jerry, you and I will be millionaires. Please trust me. Believe me.
Put it back.
Get out of my way.
I'll have to report you.
I'm not stealing it. I'll put it back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, you'll see.
Dottie, right now, there's no harm done yet.
Let go of me.
Please, Dottie, I'm trying to help you.
Don't get your hands
I
off.
have to stop you, Dottie. It's
I'm
my
not
job.
stealing this money. Don't you understand? I'm not stealing it.
Put it back. Put it back.
I don't want to hurt you, Jerry. You're an old man.
Money. Back, please.
Jerry, I have this gift. I can see into the future. You'd be able to retire.
Put it back.
I will.
My heart.
Jerry.
In my pocket. My shirt pocket.
What?
I've got pills.
Oh, please, don't die on me. Please don't die. Jerry.
I'm afraid he's dead.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, I didn't kill him. He died of a heart attack. You saw it.
Yes, I saw and I heard everything. Well, now we take a dim view of this sort of thing at Opportunities Unlimited. We do indeed.
Well, don't you see what I was trying to do for him? I had to give him an opportunity to better himself.
But that was not our agreement. You had agreed to put the money back.
What? What are you going to do to me?
I won't do anything to you.
I'll put the money back right now.
Where will you put it?
In a safe on the wall.
In which safe? On what wall?
It's dark. How did it get so dark? What happened to the lights?
No, you can keep the money.
I can keep the money.
Certainly. For all the good it will do you.
Oh, it'll do me plenty of good now. Now I know how to use it. I can do things that... Where are the lights?
The lights?
Yes, where are the lights? Yeah, what's that noise?
The lights, as you know, they won't be invented for at least 1,000 years.
What?
The noise, well...
Where am I? Where am I?
I would say you're on the southern coast of England. The year is 874.
How could I go back to 874?
You're hiding in a tiny hut. The noise is that of a Viking raid.
Oh.
The village is burned, looted. There's quite a bit of murder, robbery, rape.
Why, what are you saying?
That's how things were in those days. Besides, why worry? You have money. Those pretty little pieces of green paper.
Will they kill me?
I don't know.
Oh, please. Please, Mr. Carpenter.
They don't kill everybody. And you've got $20,000 in good American money.
Oh, please save me. They're right outside.
Got $20,000, Dottie. Let's see you buy your way out of this hut.
Dottie was lucky in one sense. The chief of the Viking raiders was Eric the Red. He had an eye for pretty ladies. So instead of killing her, he kept her for himself. So, basic relationships didn't really change. Instead of keeping house for Harold Malloy, she kept house for Eric the Red. And talking about houses, don't you leave the house till I come back shortly. Can you go all the way back and forth in time? Before you answer no, consider. Practically all of you have already done it. How, you ask? Well, don't you set your clocks for daylight savings time? But that's only an hour, sure. But it's the principle. Remember, the greatest oak was once a tiny acorn. Our cast included Mercedes McCambridge, Patricia Wheel, Robert Maxwell, and Leon Janney. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Now, a preview of our next tale.
Raphael, why did you leave the stage after the showtime?
I can't go on, Lottie.
After performing a miracle, you can't go on. The entire audience is on its feet calling for you, and you can't go on.
After what just happened?
What did happen out there, Mr. Klein?
It was as if... Oh,
well, go on, tell me. What happened to you?
Well, some force suddenly gripped my right arm, began to pull my hand, my right hand, off the keyboard. I didn't know what was happening to me. I thought I was having some sort of seizure. I was going mad, or I don't know what.
And then?
My left hand kept playing.
You mean you kept playing with your left hand?
No, Lottie, no. My right arm. See, it was forced down to my side, and I was scared. I was so scared I couldn't have gone on playing with my left, and I didn't. It did.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.